Hi, everyone. Good morning. Oh, Straight Talker. 14 months, not going anywhere. Thank you, Straight Talker. How's everybody doing today? One more day until Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. Oh, and Straight Talker gifted a membership. Thank you. How's everybody doing? Sherry got the gifted. Akira says, "Good morning, everyone. I have my cup of Nancy ready. It's negative 21 that I could not survive. Bored now, thank you. We do have the best mods. Thank you, thank you. How's everybody doing? Oh, what an interesting past few days. Yeah, that's beyond cold. That's not even like you how do you survive in that? I could never. I could never. I would never want to. All right, let me come over here. We are going to have a very serious topic today. It's going to be judged, but it's going to be had. Getting ready to bake more cookies while I listen. What kind of cookies are you baking? We're baking cookies this weekend. We do it as like a family event, which is always a good time. I have my grandma's recipe, and they're the best cookies ever. Somehow, I mean, they're a lot better when she cooks them, but or bakes them, I should say. But that's always the way it is. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Judge regardless. I know that's right. I hope you're doing well. I am me and my saint. I hope you are as well. Hey, Ninja Mod. Just pop in and say hi. I will catch the replay after work. I hope you have a great day at work. Today is Toll House Snowballs and Nut Tastier. Hey, Krama. That's not too bad. It gets colder. That's insane. Lori coming in, hitting a thumbs up at 120. Hey, Candace. I hope you have a blessed Thursday as well. Thank you. Hey, Dawn. Good morning, Janet. Baby Boop. I give the kiddos a talk about making metamorphic rocks at 10 a.m. What is a metamorphic rock? Thank you so much, Lee. Hey, Ellie. Good morning to you. Uh, K Mystic, thank you. Marching Band. You're making cookies too? That's so funny. Everybody's just out here baking cookies. Hey, Shift. Yeah, practice makes perfect. I know. I know. Nothing beats grandmom's home baked cookies, though. We all know that. I mean, is there even a question? Hey, Scotty. SLH. Good morning, Pika. Lavender. Gigi. Gemma. Isn't that right, Pika? Wouldn't that be so great? Trust what you have to say when no, well, it's a good point, Jill, but no, I have not. Matter of fact, you get nervous. Did you get that pic I emailed you? I don't know. Let me open my email. I'm sorry. What's everyone's favorite cookies while we wait for everybody to kind of come on in? Uh do 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 do. To be honest, I don't know what name it would be. Does it start with a J? Okay, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Hannah, I do apologize. My favorite cookie is oatmeal cookie. Ugh, what is a snowball cookie? Let me look that up really quick. Snowball cookies. Oh yeah, they're really good. I um I had a friend I had a friend that would always make I guess his family baked a bunch of Greek cookies and yeah, I don't let me scroll further. I don't think I received it. And, they would give me a huge bin of it. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I did not get it, and it's likely because I misspelled on purpose business. Thank you, Ohana. Yay, 1 year. Ooh, Music City Mom, good morning. Just for you, good morning, Dee Dee. Wedding cake cookies. Oh, black and white cookies, chocolate chip. And you know what? Am I the only person who's not much of a dessert person? Like, I'm not much of a cookie and cake person. I prefer ice cream, but I'll get down with some homemade cookies. I'm trying to think of what, because they're not sugar cookies that the recipe of my grandmom's I have. They're not, what are they called? I'm drawing a blank here. Um, looks like sugar cookies. If I say it, I will know. Maybe they're just called Christmas cookies. But they're not sugar cookies. But they look like sugar cookies. And they're really, really thin. You're getting a package end of next week. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Snickerdoodles are good. They're not shortbread. I'm gonna if it keeps driving me nuts, I'm gonna have to go grab the recipe. No, they're not shortbread. They're not. Dude. What are they? Uh, you put like a little bit. They're like real thin. Oh my gosh, they're to die for. Cutout cookies, tea cookies, sprints. Purple Haze, thank you for being a member for 5 months. They're not molasses. Tea cake cookies. Let me look up tea cake. I don't know. No, they're not that. Can I put you on a quick hold? Because it will drive me crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to. I will be right back. Forget about it. I can't find it. I can't find it. Oh well. I do apologize for putting you all on hold. Get this dang thing off my screen. Why is this still going? Oh, there we go. She will be very disappointed that I can't find that recipe. I do think. I think they're called Christmas cookies. I believe they're called Christmas cookies, and they're like sand tarts. All that for nothing. All that for the most obvious name, right? Holy shit. All right. All right. It's freaking Thursday. Come on. Give me a break. Holy shit. Oh boy. They're a pain in the ass to cook too. I mean to bake, I'll tell you. It takes a lot of rolling, and you got to have the arm strength and delicious little things. If I find out differently, because I do have to find this recipe before the weekend, um and she doesn't live near me any longer, so I can't just, I kept that handwritten recipe for all these years. I'm going to be tearing everything apart to look for it. She doesn't live near me anymore to get it handwritten, and nothing beats grandmom's handwritten recipe. So I will be looking for it. James Steele for ice cream. Thank you. I will eat ice cream every day. I don't care if it's summer, winter, spring, fall. Love me some ice cream. Oh boy. All that just to be like, yeah, I think it's Christmas cookies. If I remember correctly. Good morning, Poetic. Good morning, Newfie, Caroline, Laura, Northern Light, and Miss Divinity and Anise Candy. The hell is that? Divinity, Divinity, and Anise Candy. Oh, they look good with a little pecan in the middle. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Mm, I used to bake all the time, but I was round defeated at my attempt at homemade gingerbread a few years ago. No, nope. I'll be honest with you, I prefer Pillsbury ready made dough. But, at the holidays, you have to do some homemade, home baked, whatever. Hey, Quinny, you like the pizzelles, whatever, however you say them? Yeah. White chocolate, macadamia nut, that and peanut butter. They're two of my favorite as well. We bake chocolate chip cookies for Christmas for the family every year. I'm telling you, my grandma just had the best cookies, man. Her chocolate chips and her Christmas cookies were to die for. They were fantastic. And she'd make so many. She'd have the huge, the popcorn tins, Christmas themed popcorn tins. She'd have a bunch of those filled with them all. And then each of us would get a little tin holiday can full. I mean, that's honestly the best gift I ever got for Christmas was always, and I remember being so excited when the kids were old enough to get their own because they're so damn good. You don't want to share. Well, then they're not Christmas cookies. Thanks, Joe Madre. I thought I had it figured out. I thought I had it figured out. Thanks a lot. This is what they are. I'll show you the image right here. They're sand tart cookies. Without a doubt. This is exactly what they look like. That's exactly how she would do them, with like very minimal sprinkles in the middle. Sand tart cookies. That's what they are. Oh, bless it be. You know what they really are? They're edible, and that's all that matters. So moving along, I have cut out Christmas Gordons. No. But they sell them at like Acme and stuff, but they don't taste that good. When you need it, you can't find it. Ain't that the truth? That is the truth. Oh shoot, I'm freezing up over here. Hold on. Is my mouse dying or something? I'm a mess today. Absolute mess. Yes, this is definitely the cookie. This is exactly how hers would look. right here with the little same type of little sprinkles and everything, all the different shapes. My favorite. Sandtart cookies. I don't know if I had them. They look like fun. They taste so good. They're like they almost have like this like sugary, slightly buttery taste to them. I don't know. That's exactly what I was saying. They're very tedious to do. Dough not cool enough or too much, not enough of an ingredient. They don't hold their shape. You get a blob instead of a bow. Yeah, that's why her recipe and her bacon is to die for. By the elf. Oh man. Rapidly blinking as I turn around to look at the elf sitting in the same spot I put him 2 days ago. I was never quite cut out for this elf. Thanks, Brandy. It is definitely a good thing that I stay awake. Yeah, Gary, we are sponsored this year by Santart Cookies. Mine looks exactly like that in sprinkles. Oh man, Newfie, I would die for some. My grandma doesn't live in the same state as me anymore, so I won't be getting hers. Unless I have to, for some reason, make a trip there. Oh man. Was that clang? Am I hearing things? I don't think I'm making noise. Maybe a minute ago when I put my vape down. I don't know. The key is to roll that dough while it is cold. I remember her telling me you have to like constantly roll it, roll it. I baked them one time and they came out good. Like send them in the mail. I'm sure I could ask her to. Honestly, at her age, I'm not even sure she'll be able to bake them like she used to. Oh, a cookie press. Keep the dough chilled. I don't have any fancy like cooking equipment. My cookie press would probably consist of putting a pan, like a cookie sheet on top, and holding it down by something heavy. Does that count as a cookie press? I saw an elf looking at an empty toilet roll with YouTube written on it. That's actually funny. I'll never forget. My son was always a little prankster and he was a little guy. And then one time he's like, Mom, the milk's gone bad. And I'm like, I just bought that. He's like, no, it is bad. Look. I'm like, all right. So I opened up the fridge and he drew like a like angry face on it. I miss those days. I truly do. Cookie press makes spritz cookies. Yeah, whatever that is. Maybe I'll just fake it. Maybe I'll go to the Amish, buy all their really good cookies, and pretend I baked them. How about that? My grandmother, I believe, is 85. 85 now. Good morning, Mary F.M. Poppin. Italy loves VA. And my grandma used to call these Dutch sugar sprinkles. Mm. Is Grady like hitting things? Is it? Am I making a bopping noise? I promise you, I'm not face planting the mic like somebody else. I don't know. I don't think I'm hitting anything. I'm barely moving. So, metal clicking sound, but not too distracting. Really? Maybe let me maybe move this a bit. See if this is hitting something. I'm sorry. Italy, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Be nice. Try it. Moving on up. Moving on up. Think the mic is picking up the keyboard? I'm not typing. It's my mouse. Oh, it's the mouse. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. My son, this is my son's setup, and he likes to be one of those loud, obnoxious gamers where like everything has to sound really loud, like the keyboard, the mouse has to be clickety click. If it's the mouse, the clang noise is real. Even when I'm not clicking, like right now. You pretend to be a professional asshole with a microphone, and it turns out you are not a professional asshole with a microphone, just a professional asshole. Here I am thinking I got the perfect setup. It's either no, not now. It's off and on. So it's when I hit the mouse. All right. 1, 2, 3. Do you hear it now? Was that it? When you don't move, it's quiet. Freeze. All right. So it's not that. All right. Well, whatever. I don't know. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it? Like, do we have to? What could it be? Is it a ghost? Is there a ghost amongst us? I'm not even moving. I literally am like in freeze mode. Can any of you do that? On the count of three, everybody don't move. One, two, freeze. Shani, Fortune Breeze, Sunflower, Miss Jess, you guys lose. Northern Lights, you're out. Tara Boom's out. Boston Nick, you're out. April, Teresa, you're all out. Sue, you're out. Gertie, you're out. Everybody else, you're a winner. Woo! Unfreeze. Gemma, you're out. Missy Lou, you're out. All right, anyway. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm glad you played along because I know some people didn't. Sounds like a flag on a pole and the wind blowing around. That is very descriptive. I actually appreciate that. I am inside. Let me take my headphones off. Hold on. Dang, you guys can hear that? Oh, I hear it too. You know what it is? It's the fan from my whatever this big boxy thing's called. That's what you're hearing. I hear it. Hold on, let me move some stuff. I am so shocked you can hear that. No, I'm not wearing I am wearing wired headphones. Well, I'll take my headphones off for a little bit. If anybody comes up or we play a video, I'll put them back on. We can see if that's the issue. Tracy with the 350, thank you. All right, so we're gonna get serious now. I just say I don't know. Whatever. I don't want anybody to feel singled out, but is the sound you're hearing in the room with us now? You know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe it's this big algebra book. Is it my fat ass every time I lean on the desk and it does a little struggle for life? I don't fucking know. My chair? Is it the chair? Oh, I hear it. Hold on. Oh, it's the mic arm hitting the computer. Tell me if it's gone in a second. My dog's whistling through his nose. I thought you were playing beach. It's louder now. My desk is not level. That is true. That was me rocking, Indy. I was literally rocking on my chair to be a bitch and ask if that was that. It's louder. You know, I hear like actual tubers talk about gains and stuff, and I have no idea what any of that means, but I'm going to turn this little knob and see if it does anything. It's the desk, right? Yeah, it's when I lean on the desk. All right. Listen, I built this desk, and I'd be lying if I said the desk isn't maybe missing a few bolts and uneven. I don't know. It's windy here, so I only hear the wind outside my window. That's a good idea. Everybody go sit by your windows so you don't hear my noise. I think it was the mic arm too. I think it was hitting the computer, the screen. I moved it. We'll see if this works. If not, I do apologize for the annoying noise. I don't know what it could be if it's not what I think it is. So I'm sorry. It's gone. And then it just came back because I leaned on the desk again. I heard it myself. Now I'm very self-conscious. I promise you I'm not like an ogre leaning on the desk and the whole thing shakes because it's nearly falling. I promise. That's not what's happening here. Let me fix the one leg. Hold on. Now I'm self-conscious. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That's definitely the noise. All right. I'm just going to lean off a bit. I'm not clicking shit. Wait, I need the mouse back. Hold on. I'm going to be very cautious. It's the lean with it, rock with it. Well, you know, to be quite frank, I wanted to set that up on purpose. All right. That was me doing this on purpose because today we have a life lesson. Sometimes when you listen to a streamer, there are things you will hear, right? You will hear noises that you can't even quite pick up on. What is it? Some of you hear, some of you don't, but it's something that only you can hear. Do I sound believable? So that was a test to lead me into the next topic. There are noises that I can't even try. That was part of today's topic. That was totally on purpose. Because with that noise, it is easily identifiable, okay? And I can justify it by saying, yes, the fact that my desk may be a little bit loose, or, when I rock on the chair and, maybe I click the mouse, okay? And you hear a little bit of noise and it's like, but it's justifiable. But sometimes there are noises you can't justify. Sometimes there are sounds that are not human. Sometimes there are sounds that sound like a demon trying to escape a person. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know what the sound is because, again, it's unidentifiable, unlike the noise you heard coming from me. Dude, that was good, wasn't it? That was fucking good. It was an experiment. Thank you for playing along to it. Thank you to the first person that pointed it out. Totally was an experiment that I did with intent. Yeah, put a 1 in the chat if that was pretty smooth, man. I'm telling you, that was pretty. If I didn't feel bad about gaslighting you all, I would tell you all that was honest truth, but I can't do that. I can't do that. That was smooth. That was smooth. I'm giving myself credit for that. But unlike others, I can't gaslight my entire audience, so I'd be lying to you. But it does help out. It does lean into the next topic, which is somebody who constantly has noises, is a gaslighter, and lies to everybody about their reality. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you all about your reality. There was an odd noise. I have no idea what it was. I moved the mic, the arm of the mic. I'm not going to lean on, and we're going to hope it goes away. But some things that never go away is the excuses for the inexcusable. And I want to figure out today how people can even justify this type of behavior and excuse it day in and day out. We are going to go smack dab into the taboo topic that will likely have people screaming and crying that we are shaming. I'm here to tell you that I am an addict. I am an addict that is in recovery. I have done the step work. I have participated in the programs. I've had a sponsor. I've been a sponsor. I'm not addict shaming, but I am person shaming today. And I do believe this person's issues majorly stem from the fact that they are actively addicted. Now, I don't know if they're actively addicted to a substance, to social media, to attention, to money, but I will definitely tell you that there is addiction like behavior going on. And I'm going to break it down step by step as we go through. And again, this isn't about shame and addiction. Okay. I am fully aware, and my opinion, you can argue with me later if you want to, but I likely will ignore it. Addiction is a disease. But to continue to deny it while attacking others, blaming everybody except for yourself, and creating public disasters that impacts kids, yourself, and other people, communities, and legal systems is something that we should talk about. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break down the behaviors, the consequences, the hard truth. If you don't like it, click on out right now. When someone refuses accountability, lashes out at everyone else, and weaponizes their own victim narrative. The problem isn't the audience, it's the addict and their denial. Again, I would be, I could say something like trigger warning, but we're adults here. And I think we understand that there are heavy topics. Can never start in time ever. It's rude and disrespectful to subs that show up every day. Thank you, Quinny, as am I. Thank you, Joe Madre. Thank you so much, April. April says, Jess, when you speak on addiction, I never feel shamed. When you speak on addiction, recovered addict here, 16 years. It's amazing. Oh, I know that's right, Beth. All right. So this is, of course, the lovely Just Saying. Um, Let me stop sharing for a second so I can drop it on in the chat. Listen, you can say what you want in this chat. We're going to speak openly, but there are two words that I will ban in this chat today. The one I can think of right off the bat is junkie. Do not use the term junkie in my chat room today. Use it outside of here. Use it afterwards. Use it where you will. Do not use it in my chat today. That's the only word I can think of. I said two because two sounds better than one, but one is also the loneliest number that you ever known. Who's dabbing with it? I hope that's Poppy. Oh, wait, sorry. Something happens to BJ when she switches from drama to quote unquote true crime live streams. I'm not going to say what I think is going on or make accusations. Granny will. I'm merely showing the recurrent behavior and letting you be the judge. Just watch for any behavior or movement that is odd and or repeated frequently. For educational purposes only.
Defendant, all of the aggravating factors laid out in the state's sentencing memorandum and the aggravating factors expressed to this court by the next of kin and victims.
BJ says true crime is her passion and what she enjoys doing. However, she can't even pretend to be interested.
Aggravating factors expressed to this court by the next of kin and victims.
Quinny says, my son was clean for 10 years, then relapsed and it got him. He passed away, so I just say keep up with your program and whatever helps you stay. Quinny, thank you for sharing that with us. I am so sorry for your loss. Most friends or family members I lost to addiction was in the same format. They get clean for a little bit of time, they relapse. Unfortunately, a lot of times when an addict relapses, they go back to their last known dosage of whatever substance they were using, not realizing that their tolerance for it is no longer as high as it once was, and it leads to overdose. Of course, now we have the fact that fentanyl is in everything. I just lost my cousin to a drug overdose, and it was because fentanyl was in it. Whoopsie Daisy, thank you so much for the gift. My heart goes out to everybody in the chat that has lost someone they know to addiction and or survived. It is hard on all ends.
Can't imagine the impact it had on them after the fact or during. And some of them had to distance themselves to keep their family safe.
Absolutely disrespectful to the victims and their
Finally, this
families.
overwhelming toll. And a better neighbor and friend to those people who were there for me when I needed it most. But I have never seen any remorse or acknowledgement from Lori.
What we see here is the weight of her, kind of bobbling about. That's what happened to my neighbor. It'll be 2 years right after Christmas, and I still expect to see his face in the driveway. Trash Panda, I am so sorry. It makes it even harder with the holidays. I mean, it does. It's an epidemic that has touched a lot of lives.
Any of her conspirators.
Only we will be providing for you to do that. I've been presented with an affidavit of indigency this morning from Mr. Parrish. I'm going to sign off. Anything else for the state or anyone else?
Your Honor, we'd ask that you add the conditions if Walt Tanger is released and have no contact director and director.
If you can't even stay awake with what you're playing, why do you expect the audience? Right? I mean, that this is, right, it's the way she lies about it all. If this is what we see, the very few times that she actually has the camera on and rolling for us to see, what do you think is happening when it's not on? Because we hear her stop talking mid-sentence. We hear her grasping and wheezing. We hear the snoring. And we still get told that we don't hear what we hear. So now tell me that I'm not seeing what I see, okay? Go ahead and justify and excuse the sounds that we hear, but you try to convince me today that my eyes don't see what they see. 12/21 will be 2 years we lost my older sister, day before her 60th birthday. I'm 59 now and such a somber feeling. Booze, pills, heroin, coke, you name it. I'm so sorry, Angel. Oh, man. I don't get it either, limited edition.
Gathered conditions if multiple container release and no contact director and directing for the Briggs family.
I can add that today. There's nothing to add it to. There's no condition. Are you saying if within a reasonable means will be provided for you to do that? I've been presented with an affidavit of indigency this morning from Mr. Parrish. I'm going to sign off on that.
Audi A3. The car believed to be driven by Drummond with Tennessee plates.
That is true, Michael. Andy Dick has, well, he turned blue during a parent OD, but he is alive. That's exactly what happened to my brother. He had fought addiction for years. He had been clean for 3 years. I was so proud of him. Then I got the call. We were very close. It changed my whole life. I'm so sorry, Jamani. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I couldn't fathom. It's especially 3 years clean. You're not expecting that call anymore. That's tough. Hey, Wa.
Plates.
Mid-sentence.
Plates. A3.
The constant like scratching of the nose, the hair, the touching the face. They're all signs.
I'm going to sign off on that.
Audi A3. The car believed to be driven by Drummond with Tennessee plates. Let me try this here. Burnt Mill Road.
Now, reading isn't hard. Reading is hard when you're under a substance that prevents you from staying awake. I mean, this is mid-sentence that this girl just starts falling asleep. And every time, again, the camera's off and you're seeing and hearing the same thing. That is what is happening. Oh, no, do not delete that at all, B. Girl, thank you. And again, with the nose scratch before falling asleep, right?
The car believed to be driven by Drummond with Tennessee plates.
I know, Grace.
Let me try this here. Burnt Mill Road.
And every time she falls asleep, she pretends it's just like, oh, can y'all believe this? Oh, it's just so hard. No, and that's what makes it even grosser, right? Because it's not that she's stopping mid-sentence because the topic she's reading is so heavy and it actually hits a place inside her. It's because whatever is preventing her from continuing to read. It has nothing to do with compassion. And she tries to play it off like it's some type of, compassion or heaviness of a topic. No, it's not. It's the heaviness of your eyelids.
This is crazy.
See? Always with it. This is crazy. Or can y'all believe this? This meth or other cause red swelling, knots, weird veins in feet, and up your legs. I know someone who wonders what's up but doesn't stop using. I don't know, Maggie. I'm sure it could, to be honest. I don't have much experience with meth. I didn't even realize it was a readily available drug, to be honest, anymore. But I wouldn't doubt it. Right, just a stint with addiction, but had the nerve to come out here and speak to many people about recovery and all of that. But it was just a small stint with addiction because that's how most people's stories go, right? And then most people that had just a little stint with addiction are seen driving right up to the maintenance clinic on live stream, right? That happens too, right? There's so many things to be said. Oh, methadone. I'm sure it could, to be honest. All right, hold on. I got to take this really quick, so I'm going to rewind. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Although I won't be interrupted.
Defendant, all of the aggravating factors laid out in the state's sentencing memorandum and the aggravating factors expressed to this court by the next of kin and victims.
I can't imagine the impact it had on them after the fact or during, and some of them had to distance themselves to keep their family safe. Finally, this overwhelming toll, and a better neighbor and friend to those people who were there for me when I needed it most. But I have never seen any remorse or acknowledgement from Lori or any of her conspirators.
Only we will be providing for you to do that. I've been presented with an affidavit of indigency this morning from Mr. Parrish. I'm going to sign off. Anything else for the state or anyone else?
Your Honor, we'd ask that you add the conditions if while detainer is released, and have no contact direct or indirect payment for the Briggs family.
I can add that today. There's nothing to add it to. There's no condition. Are you saying if it's a reasonable, we will be providing for you to do that? I've been presented with an affidavit of indigency this morning from Mr. Parrish. I'm going to sign off on that.
Audi A3. The car
correct.
believed to be driven by Drummond with Tennessee plates. Let me try this here. Burnt Mill Road.
There it is again, right? Well, he says, in solidarity with all of us left behind by those taken too soon due to their addiction, proud AF of all of you who walk in recovery. Thank you, Wee. Again, I'm not shaming the addiction here today. I'm shaming the addict behavior that keeps being excused or justified, or people being gaslit. Try to gaslight me out of what I'm hearing. Fine. We just did that whole little thing in the beginning where there's a noise. Nobody knows where it's coming from. But I dare you to argue what's right here in front of my eyes, what I am seeing with my own eyes.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. It is crazy.
This one's got the band and the cake.
To 4.
You'll notice the frequent loud noises or sudden loud talking in the background to wake her up, like the clapping that was then justified to be stimming of an autistic child. Okay, fine. Was the adult child stimming as well?
This is crazy, right?
Yeah, it is. It is, bitch.
Highway 78 from Dyersburg to Lake County to check footage.
It's, yes. Don't try to say that.
Listen, anybody who wants to say, oh, but no, she just looks tired. Is she not adult enough to log off then? If we're going to say this is just somebody being tired, is she not an adult and can log off? Majority of the time, this is taking place in the background. At what point do we say, okay, but if you're tired every single time you go live, then don't go live?
It's, yes. Don't try to say that.
Yeah. I don't know, 5 vehicles. 5 vehicles. These vehicles were with accessory after the
Suddenly was wide awake after he started talking to her, right?
fact of first degree unaliving, accusing her of aiding Drummond.
There we go again. Pretending it's just too traumatic of a topic to discuss, right? When she's truly just nodding. I mean, it is what it is.
Accusing her of aiding Drummond.
The face droopiness, all of it. Never up on that. You will never hear a yawn.
I cannot believe it was offering $7,500.
She was supposed to do Sebastian Rogers last night. She said that she got insider information from Seth Rogers, and that still did not prioritize her going live to do drama. Obsessed mind. No, likely not be enforced because it likely is abuse of a prescription, if you ask me. I mean, just my opinion. I don't know for sure. Obviously, I can't. But it's taking place. I mean, look at this. Never a yawn. Look at that.
See.
She can't even hold her big old head up.
Let's see.
And the way she's lounged over all the time, the hunchback that has grown and the posture and all, it all just reeks of it. I mean, justify it how you will. We ain't falling for it. You're gonna tell me that's not a nod? That's not a fucking nod right there. Oh,
Lord have mercy.
No, leave the Lord out of your bullshit.
Lord have mercy.
Official,
just too traumatic, right?
Killing somebody behind bars. All of those are aggravating circumstances under which you seek the death penalty. Killing for a pecuniary or money interest. Aggravating circumstance.
Investigation, we heard whispers about Kaylee having a stalker. And I believe that this was so planned, Coburger, that he may even had dog treats. To
look at her face like she's just disgusted by what she's hearing. That's all it is, folks. All the itchy and face touching and
give the dog, I'm thinking. So I believe
Peel.
I would love one of these times for somebody to say to her, what was just said on that video that you're saying, oh my God, can y'all believe it? I can't. What was just said?
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your notes. It captures everything.
Listen.
It was
had harmed no one, was not involved in anything illegal. They were in. When you describe the injuries, this was
thrown out of the groups, even on Facebook. But
that's bad. That one's bad. I mean, these are all bad, but right, shake it off. Mm-hmm.
You are the one, ma'am, that said Samantha last heard from him or spoke to him July 3rd.
Look at her head weaving all over, practically banging into the mic.
That came from you.
Yeah, and she's the one that
say my information is off. And I said the people are saying so.
You know what's really pathetic about all of this? What's really pathetic is that it meant more to her. Okay? It meant more to her to go live and use true crime stories and cases as a quick way to get attention than it did to respect the actual tragedy at hand. That's all this is an excuse for her to go live, to get ad revenue, to possibly get super chats. She doesn't give a shit. She doesn't give a shit about the topic. Not at all.
So do not say my information is off. Interesting.
To come together as a community and honor Jaden. His life was cut short. Let me see. And I want people to come together and see.
Right. She's defensive because she will not admit to what has taken place here. To the memory of this child and the grieving family. It is so disrespectful. If you're not alert enough to go live, excuse me, then don't go live. I don't think she's faking it. I don't think this is even fakeable. This is too realistic to be faked. I think people that think that, and no disrespect to you saying it, but people that say like, oh, I think she's doing it on purpose to get people to talk and this and that. I don't believe that. I believe that is just an excuse to be had. I love the fact that you call this bullshit out for what it really is. She does this at same time every month, but there her subs sit looking dumb and making excuses. I agree, Remy. Every single time.
Want them to wear red.
I want people to come together as a community and honor Jaden, his life, and his life was cut short and was unfair to him to have to endure.
Should be right there. At all. Hello, Spirit Seeker. Cemetery 1 Road.
There it goes. Look
And
at
this
her.
is in-
She can't even hold her head up. Look at it.
Cemetery 1 Road. And this is in Jackson, Tennessee.
Hey,
The mouth open. That's why you always hear the into the mic. This is what's going on every time you hear that noise, but you don't see any. This has been happening since at least October of last year, almost daily. What is this? What is this other than what we know it to be? I would love somebody who thinks it's not what obviously it is to come up and debate me that it's not. I would love it.
Comes
Over this.
now,
Getting some more stuff in, I think here. It's here.
Time of 3:59 happens after Koberger has left the neighborhood and before he returns for his last pass at 4:04. It is possible that the DoorDash driver saw Koberger as he was parking his car because a timestamp.
I mean, look at this. Anybody? Let me pin my link over here. Anybody want to come over and tell us that we're not seeing what we're seeing? I would love it. I would love an open conversation with anybody who tries to justify this. Come tell me why you believe that she's not doing what she's obviously doing. This pause game is exactly what's happening every time you hear that heavy breathing into the mic. I mean, this is weeble wobbing everywhere.
Neighborhood and before he returns for his last pass at 4:04. It is possible that the DoorDash driver saw Koberger as he was parking his car.
I also love the excuse that she's just reading. You have to squint your eyes to read when you're wearing glasses? Really? Since when? Since when?
Because a timestamp of 3:59 could be reflected when he took the photo of the food at the front door instead of the time he arrived. Continuing, as the driver leaves, Xena turns off all the lights, sits on her bed, and scrolls on her phone as she eats her food.
These people can make fun of the way I speak all day long, but I guarantee I can outspeak them in any type of debate, which is why they never click the link. I don't give a fuck if I mispronounce words or I say a few things wrong here and there. I don't give a shit about that. You know what the fuck I'm saying at the end of the damn sentence. Hey, Lori, I see you. You can turn your camera off, sweetheart. Hello.
Hello. I decided to click the link only because I'm an old lady. I can't type fast enough, and this really touches my soul deep, deep. And watching it in December, I lost my daughter December 28th of 2010.
I'm so sorry.
And thank you. It's been a long road. I hate Decembers. I'm ashamed to say I don't even put up a tree anymore. I did for a long time. I am raising her 3 daughters, and I had raised them. They're grown now. So, and I lost my husband 2 years before that to drug addiction. Thank God I'm sober now 18 years. But, I've said from the beginning, this is not sleep apnea. This is not being too tired, like you say. She only does it mainly during true crime. If she's in drama, giggling, laughing, if what's his name is acting up in the background, I don't know if it's a nervous giggle or what it is, but she's not fooling anyone that's had recovery, or addiction, excuse me.
Right.
So it saddens me for her boys that have to watch it. I know I scared my kids to death many times. Now, I'm considered a polysubstance abuser, meaning I'll do anything that will change my mood. But my drug of choice was methamphetamine.
Okay.
And, but I would definitely, use the downers when it wasn't available. And, I did the same exact thing as her. I would do morphine and I would be bent in half doing laundry. But, I knew I was out of it, but it didn't feel like it. Inside, it felt like I was carrying on just like normal. Like it would be normal to see somebody bent over for 15 minutes,
It's normal when she does this live on a camera because and most addicts think that others don't realize that they're clearly high as a kite. We think we're fooling everybody. And then when somebody points out that we are high, we then get offensive and we say, well, how dare you say that? I'm not high. I'm tired. I had a busy day. And you turn around and you now yell at them for even pointing out the obvious because you're the victim.
Yeah.
How dare they say that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's sad. It is sad. And I don't see it ending well, no matter what, she's either going to get a crisis, whether that be respiratory or domestically or, I don't know, but it's not, you can't. And if you notice back in like August, September, probably September, October, maybe she stopped going on camera again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been worse. I mean,
yep.
Of course, we don't see it. And so it's real easy for her subs or not the mods. They are guilty of sin and they know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Everybody that tries to act like any of this is normal or yells at somebody, says she wasn't sleeping and blah, blah, blah. You're enablers. You're absolutely enablers. Yep. You know it. You see it. You just don't want to admit it.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Granny. I had to, come up and say that because my fingers don't type as fast on my phone and I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you're talking about this subject. Even though it makes me sad, and it's touched. Well, I have a son now. He's older than my daughter and he's in active use. And I can't be around him because even though I have 18 years sober, you could not put meth in front of me. Even when I was in deep, deep recovery with, 4 to 5 meetings a week. And it's just,
yeah, you're always.
He came with. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Excuse me. I said, yeah, because at the end of the day, you were always an addict, and the addict does not leave you. The drugs may, but the addiction and the behaviors, the cravings will always be there. And it's, one small trigger can make it come back. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know my son, we got quite a bit of snow and, I even hated to call him but I hadn't seen him since Thanksgiving, and we lived less than a mile away, but I just can't have him around,
Yeah.
I did the tough love thing with my daughter and it didn't end well. So I have a hard time with that, even though I know it's the right thing to do. Nowadays, they're like, oh, meet the addict where they're at. Hell no. Shake them, grab them by the shoulders and shake the shit out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't
So
you
I
can't
don't know
depend
what
on
the
addicts.
answer is. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the answer is. I came from a time where, AA and NA were the way to go. Yet that is a, unaccessible a majority of the time.
Right.
Then we have, then medicated recovery came in, and that took a lot for people to even be comfortable with being okay with it.
Right.
And meeting the addict where they're at. Well, in the beginning, when my son did relapse, because he came out of prison 3 years ago and he was doing so well, he got custody of his little boy, which now he's screwed up because he went back to using, so much is so affected.
I
I
agree.
just, it's exhausting. Yeah. So I don't mean to ramble. Thank you.
No,
I
I
guess I
appreciate
needed
you
it.
sharing. I appreciate you sharing with us, and congratulations on your recovery. I'm sorry for the loss you've experienced, and we'll pray for you and your son, and that he finds his way again.
I think he will, but hopefully he doesn't die in the process. That's what I worry about.
Oh, of course.
But he's 42 and he has to make his own decisions. But I can decide not to let it affect my life anymore.
Now, are you do you go to any like meetings that are meant for loving an addict? For those that aren't, you know?
We used to have a very strong Al-Anon
Yeah.
community. We don't anymore. And I'm not exactly sure. I think a lot had to do with the pandemic. And that's where my
Oh,
actual
yeah.
meeting recovery suffered. It suffered in the sense that I know the way to make me feel better and to live life a little stronger is by getting back into meetings.
Yeah.
I can work my program in my own personal life, do my daily readings, reflections at the end of the night. Those are all great. And I do have a therapist that I see.
Oh, that's great.
But it does not replace, being amongst people
Right.
that understand you. And that's, I will honestly say that YouTube, you and other people that accept addicts and don't have a problem with talking about it, those are the YouTube people that really touch my heart, because then I do feel like, oh, okay, here's a mini meeting, or,
Right.
talking to other, and, truly, one thing that I've taken away is service work, getting out of yourself, doing for others.
Yeah.
That is so
Major.
important.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even if it's like I can go pick up the neighbor's mail for them so they don't have to,
Right.
walk down there. Yeah, it always helps me feel better. But thank you so much, Granny, watching, or Jess, if I may call you Jess. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for sharing.
All right.
Hi, Candy.
Hi, Jess. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. I used to be the type person for the underdog and root them on and want them to do better. But she's an anomaly. I don't get her.
Mm-mm.
She is insane because she promises all these promises and breaks every promise she makes about doing giveaways, about doing true crime. It's always, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Never does anything she says. Um,
Which is kind of typical for people,
yeah,
in
yeah,
addiction.
exactly. But her show, I don't know how she has anywhere between 300 to 600 people watch him when all she does is hold please and mutes, and she can't run a computer. Craig was right when he said, you don't know how to work a computer, because that girl can't work a computer. And she's always grifting for a new computer by acting like her computer don't work. I
Which
mean,
is
it's just,
amazing because we know by her own words that she has purchased 2 computers in the past, what, year and a half, year?
yeah, exactly. But Yeah, you can still hear her snoring all the time or wheezing out her nose. It's not, and I don't think it's asthma. I think it's due to whatever drug of choice she's taking and being inactive and just sitting there getting fatter and fatter. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I mean,
Yep.
I used to really worry about her and care about her and pray for her, but it's like, my God, when can you see what you're doing? I mean, everybody else can't be wrong all the time.
Well, let's break down a few, unhealthy habits of people that are in addiction. One
Yeah.
is problems at school or work, right?
Yeah.
Frequently showing up late, missing out on things, missing activities, poor work performance. Then let's talk about physical health issues, lack of energy and motivation, weight loss or gain, red
Yeah.
or tired eyes, pale skin, neglected appearance, lack of
Yeah.
interest in clothing, grooming or looks. I mean, and then money issues, of course, is a major one. Sudden request for money, always a need for money. I mean, there are so many signs here, but
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
taboo, or people will say, "Well, you're shaming," these type of behaviors get overlooked. And I do believe that most of what you're describing of her and most of what we've witnessed of her is that of an addict's behavior.
I agree. That's totally good idea, perspective that you're putting on all this. Um,
Or it can just be a piece of shit human. I don't know which, Candy, but I'm with you. I normally root for the underdog.
yeah.
I have a way bigger heart than these people describe me to be. I'm very compassionate, almost too compassionate. But there's just some things that are inexcusable and or tiresome. And I think the biggest issue for me is that people will find a way to excuse, justify, or lie about these actions of hers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. And I don't see how people can't, after a while, look and see that this behavior is more than insane. It's got to be drug related or something. You can't be that dumb.
Even if we just take the basics of it, right? Forget everything we've heard and seen. Let's just take the basics. The who what normal functioning adult is up all night,
Right.
right? And then let's add in the chaos, right? What person constantly finds himself in the middle of all the chaos but claims not to want any of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it's manipulation. It is created chaos.
And for her to not realize that she and her boyfriend put themselves in danger with the words they speak on the internet,
Mhm.
um, that just blows my mind. It
Well,
it
lack of
really,
accountability, right? Lack of
yeah.
self-awareness.
It's everybody else's fault all the time. Is I don't know. I just this first time I've come up and it's been on my mind for so long, and I'm like, I've heard you, always try to say y'all just need to ice her out. Y'all need to just quit going attacking her and this, that, and the other. And it's like nothing works because she just won't quit poking and she won't do true crime. She won't do anything but sleep and poke. That's all she does. Anyway, it's crazy.
Well,
But thank you.
exactly.
Thank
And here's
Yeah,
the
go
thing,
ahead.
Candy, you're right. And I think one of the major reasons she won't do true crime is one, because she really doesn't care about it. It's a fallback topic every time she either needs to
Yeah.
pretend that she's a decent person or she needs a quick topic for the day. I think at the core of it all, she wants to be the victim herself.
Well, that and she's too lazy to do any research for anything. She wants to just come on after not do anything and be brain dead and just say whatever comes to her mind. But lately, there's nothing coming to her mind to say, so she's just quiet.
Right. There's no substance there. Yeah.
No, she's totally brain dead. And
And
it's
and
like,
be right, because and I've said this before, she has always loved the drama. She entered YouTube being in the drama. She realized that, pretending to do what she does, and it's a pattern, is she'll
yeah,
find a trending true crime topic, she'll discuss it. Her mods and everybody else does all the work, usually a panel guest, whatever. And then
yeah.
as soon as she has these people hooked in on that case, she then brings up her own quote, and then they get suckered in that way because their hearts are already open for whatever tragedy they just got done discussing. And then she comes in with that fake woe is me act, and well, I'm really the victim here, guys. And it's really, it's a repeated pattern over years now.
And the whole repeating herself over and over about membership and how to support the channel. It's like there's no other creator I've seen do that where they just keep doing it over and over. You know, Foodie Beauty just got demonetized, and they said it's because she got lazy and started just drifting off and being not doing much of anything anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
if you she used to be active and everything, and now she's like sluggish and doesn't say much. And I don't know why she got demonetized, but she did, and she has a big channel.
Yeah. I'm
So
shocked to hear she was demonetized.
yeah, she's very upset about it. But anyway, I just want to come up here and talk to you because I really enjoy your content, and I think you're a cool person.
Thank you so
So
much, Candy. I really appreciate you coming up. Thank
yeah,
you.
so y'all have a good day, and thanks for letting me talk.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. My daughter is an alcoholic. The only reason she is in recovery is because we refuse to enable her. She has no choice but to figure life out all by herself. Yeah. As loved one, I've been through it myself. I've been the addict and I've been the person trying to help the addict. It's not easy. So they are definitely trying to get my stream taken down as we speak. You will experience buffering, you will experience numbers jumping. I need everybody to hit the thumbs up so that we can account for the real watchers here today. It's funny that they never ever say Oh, I was gonna say, you stopped mid track. Thank you, just Irish. Come in peace. Um, it's funny. None of my streams ever do this, right? But the one stream where the topic is actually necessary, and again, I am not. I cannot make that any clearer. But I also don't care if you want to twist my words to say that because you people will twist everything, just like you will twist the sounds and the things that we are seeing and hearing. But those who know. I've spoken openly since day one of creating my channel that I am an addict. I will not shame. I will shame an addict, but I will not shame addiction. Anyway, they let's get this in before they report your girl further.
A few minutes later, they turned the photo of the food at the front door instead of the time he arrived. Continuing, as the driver
Sorry. Jump scare warning.
leaves, Xena turns off all the lights, sits on her bed, and scrolls on her phone as she eats her food. A few minutes later, Koberger enters the neighborhood for the last time. But this time, as he drives by the home, he appears to be calm and not overly anxious with his driving.
Look at her mouth.
As he heads back in the direction of the residence, he takes one last look at the windows to make sure all the lights are off.
The itchy itch again. Thank you, Missy Lou. This topic needs to be discussed. Yeah, it does. You know what? Because only those who think it's a shameful action are the ones that want us to not discuss it. Okay. They're the ones that are shame and addiction. All right. They're the ones. Don't tell me what I can and can't. How many of you have experienced addiction? Can you put a 1 in the chat? Thank you, Kath. You don't have to be ashamed here. You don't have to be embarrassed. You guys know that we are very open. We are not judgmental. If you're worried about somebody else being judgmental, then, feel free not to put a 1. I'm just curious how many people have experienced addiction. MFers, confident, strong, wise, resilient, resolute. Thank you, Northern Light. That is so sweet. 1. Wow. I won't highlight you. I'm sorry. Wow. Look at all the ones in here. Look at all the ones in here. If that's not eye-opening. 5 years, Misfit. 12 years, Erica. Pedal Perfect. 3 years. You're all here today. And that's a blessing within itself. I don't care if you're sober, if you're actively suffering, if you have experienced addiction. There are so many ones in this chat. You basically have a room of addicts. Okay, virtual room nonetheless, but a room of addicts that are sitting here today listening because they recognize what is happening before them. Or tell us that we can't have this discussion, that we're wrong for having this discussion. You can't shame somebody into recovery. You can't. You can't shame them into recovery. You can't love them into recovery. You have to allow them to find recovery on their own. Sherry, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Thank you, Jess, for doing this. Much love. Much love to all of you. You're not alone. We do recover. There is help out there. It's just, I'm sure everybody in here that put a 1 in the chat feels what I feel every time somebody justifies or excuses this.
Fast forwarding a little bit, Koberger drives to the back parking lot away from other residences. He takes a few minutes looking around and sees that nobody's out and that all is quiet. He eventually grabs his things, gets out of the vehicle.
Not so sure about that. I think he was off his phone call before then.
Wow, Misfit. Holy shit.
If you go back and look at the time of what was it? 8-something, 8:14.
Well, what do we call this, folks? What do you call that? Have any of you witnessed a yawn yet? Yeah, that's the other thing, right? She's just tired, y'all. She's a mom, y'all. I'll never forget when she said that herself. Y'all, I got kids. I gotta take them to school and after school and what? This isn't a mother of 3 toddlers running around the house. This is somebody who has their, kids go to school for what, 8 to 9 hours a day? This isn't somebody that's running around to sport afterwards and doing this and that. Matter of fact, we heard them doing homework at 1 a.m. Don't tell me that this is just a tired mom. How insulting to every mother who wakes up in the morning, gets their children off to school, and then goes and works a 9 to 5. How insulting to every mother that comes home from that 9 to 5, cooks dinner before hurrying up and dropping the kids off to their different practices after finishing homework. I mean, how insulting. This is somebody who sits on their ass all day, likely sleeps all day while they're at school because she's up all night. Stop using the, she's a mother bullshit. I'm a mother too, and I'm not nodding the fuck out. How dare you? Again, this isn't somebody getting up all night with a newborn. This isn't somebody running around chasing toddlers all day. It's extremely insulting. For the missing, thank you so much. We just had somebody ask for prayers to get through the week. I need good vibes, please, for a week sober. She's never too busy being other chats, right? I mean, come on.
On the document, just say baby.
Notice Craig had to wake her up.
It's all on the document, just say baby.
Babe, you're not an out. That's what he says.
Less.
It's all on the document, just say baby.
Less.
And here's why. Brian Koberger returned.
Always with the perpetual stank face, too. What are you, smelling yourself? I'm sorry. Come on, look at the face.
And here's why.
Ew.
Brian Koberger returned to King Road, the scene of the
another little itchy itch, scratchy scratch
crime at about 9 o'clock in the morning. We all assumed that it was because he left a knife sheath behind. And
why she always itching her nose? How many of you have experienced the opiate itch? We call it opiate itch. No, I'll tell you when, Maisie, so there was a time like a few years ago, she'd fall asleep here and there, but I really noticed a difference when it came to October of last year. That's when it was really transparent and obvious. Now, I've always known personal things about her because at one point we were friendly with each other, right? This, whatever's happening lately, and I honest to God, and I know people don't believe me because they think I just have this strong hate for her, and I do. I despise her, but I'm still human, and I still feel empathy for those around, okay? My heart broke one day when I literally sat back and I looked and I said, this is a person who is not an out daily, who's clearly living in a very unstable and chaotic environment, who has gained an ungodly amount of weight in the past year and a half, who is deteriorating right before all of us. But because some of you hate the same person that dislikes her, you join in her madness and you enable it. And I'm telling you, this doesn't end in a good way. It just doesn't.
He wanted to. Those kids are dead yet. There's no cops there. There's no nothing. And he's skulking around outside. And he's talking to her for about 9 more minutes.
Look at her, mouth wide open. Hey, Irish.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
This is crazy, man.
Hey, shoot, I forgot to close out my studio. Hold on a sec, or my thing.
Okay.
All right, are we better?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for letting me come up, Granny.
Of course. Yeah, I seen you said 30 years. That's amazing.
Well, no, I was using for 30 years.
Oh, shit.
every opiate under the sun. That's to include 4 years of methadone, 4 years of Suboxone. Now I've been off everything for 4 years, so I have 9 years clean and sober. And I am screaming at my TV every day that I see this.
Yeah.
And I've been called out by some opinionated people
Mm-hmm.
for saying what I see here. And that's what contributes to people dying, you know? So it really pisses me off. It just
I agree.
completely. And I'm just not going to be, shut. I don't shame anybody for being an active addiction, but I'm not going to say I don't see it like so many do.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's not and when these people say, well, you're shaming addiction, it's not shaming addiction. It's shaming the particular person.
And yeah, but it's not even shaming. It's just I'm saying what I see. It's like this is my analogy. Okay. When I get up in the morning and there's a foot of snow on the ground, I don't have to have seen it snow to know that it snowed.
That's so true. That is so true.
Like I
Yeah.
know it snowed. Come on now.
Right. That is so
And
true.
yeah, so and no, postcard nation, no, people don't lose weight on drugs always. No, I've
Yeah, it's a
seen
misconception.
yeah.
And a lot of times it does the opposite because you crave that sugary replace. And honestly, we hear that too. We witness somebody eating candy all fucking night.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think there's more than one addiction going on there.
I do too. That's what I said. I mean, I think in this particular case, there is there's plenty of addictions going on. And one of them I do believe is addiction to the internet.
Oh, absolutely. Well, like me, I can't even like drink Kool-Aid right. I gotta have like all of it right now, all the time, 24/7. When I find something I like, I gotta do it constantly. That's me.
Yeah.
That's addict
Addict
mentality.
personality.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, everything I see here is opiate. I mean, there's nothing about opiates you can't tell me. I started out with pills. I did pills for decades, and I ended up IV heroin and crack use. I mean, I've done it all. So there's nothing you're going to tell me or show me or whatever about opiate addiction that I don't know. I mean, I was addicted to all drugs pretty much, but opiates were my thing,
Right.
and it's obvious to me. So whose video is this?
Just saying.
Okay, that's what I was, and I can never find Just Saying, and I'm surprised it didn't pop up in my feed, but I figured it was Just Saying. So
Yeah, they do fantastic. I
yeah,
know it is difficult to find their channel sometimes though, because the name comes up with hundreds of names.
yes, it does. So I don't know if you mind if I sit up here watching it with
Oh
you.
no, you're more than welcome to. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Let
And
me get
y'all, if
let me shut back up.
any questions, I mean, I'm an open book with addiction. If anyone ever has any questions of me personally or what I see, I mean, I'm willing to answer.
Well, that's what I always say. These people that kind of sweep this up or cover for it or make excuses for it. I would love for one of them to come up and have a discussion. We don't have to yell at each other. We can have a
Right.
normal adult discussion, but I want to know, like, really, when you watch this, what does your true feeling say? Not your duties to keep your audience pleased. Tell me what your heart sees.
Right. And nobody looking at this, I just can't fathom that somebody looking at this thinks that this is, I'm just tired. I'm just
Right.
exhausted.
I'm so
I'm
busy
just,
all day.
yeah, you know. So I don't believe anyone believes that.
Mm-mm.
People are so afraid on the internet because, oh, what if they're wrong? Well, I can understand if you're not an addict or if you've never seen addiction in your life to maybe not know, but that's where we come in. Like
Right.
we need to
People that have
educate.
experienced addiction are telling
Hmm.
you what you're witnessing, and I get it. You don't have to take any of our words for it, but you also have a chat full of addicts that are telling you, we see it. You're going to tell us,
Yes,
you know?
yes, yes. And people get it confused because Britney's become so unlikable that
Yeah.
think it that it's like no. And I actually had Brittany come to me in a chat and say how when I finally spoke out about it, because I never said a thing because I could not see her. When I
Mhm.
saw her the first time on camera doing this, I was like, oh,
Yeah, it was obvious.
and
Mhm.
it's like, um,
And here's an
I
honest question for you, right? Because you've been critical of me, and I understand
right.
it. But if I was coming up and this was happening to me, what do you think would be said and done?
Oh my God.
Right. It'd be everywhere. It'd be everybody's discussion of the day, of the week.
Yeah,
Everybody would talk about it.
that's what I was going to say. She said to me in a chat, she's like, Irish, how dare you? I thought you were my friend. How
Uh-huh.
dare you say that I'm using? I'm like, and I said, have you watched yourself back?
Right.
And she's like, I don't know what she said. And I said, you know what? Um, I know what I see, Brittany. I'm here if you ever need the help. And
Isn't it funny?
she still came at me, and I was like, well, then sue me,
Right.
because
Well, isn't that funny
she told
too
me it
that
was defamation.
it's
Defamation. Shut up.
defamation. She doesn't even know the definition. But isn't it funny that in Brittany's world, if you tell her what you actually see and you say it from a place of concern, she immediately says, I thought you were a friend.
Oh
Bitch, if
yeah,
they were your friend, they'd be telling you this truth,
right, right.
you know? Hey, Migsy.
To answer your question, yeah, we do, but we don't care that we're nodding. And like me, when I was nodding, I would get the, hey, you're sleeping. Hey, you're sleeping. Yeah, yeah, I know. I didn't sleep last night. Yeah, yeah, that was my first answer.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Well,
any sleep last night.
it's always an excuse. And then it's followed up with, the how dare you? How dare
Yeah,
you
you
say
get
that,
mad. You get mad
Right.
because you got caught. You get mad
Exactly.
because that they know exactly what's going on.
Right. You get defensive about it.
Right.
Hey, Migsy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to give a little different perspective as well. Like I saw there's a lot of addicts in there as well in the chat and stuff.
Hmm.
I was a child of two alcoholics. My grandfather and my aunt were also alcoholics. I grew up codependent and had all the behaviors as well. So, I mean, this ultimately we have to know not just the lack of parenting or haphazard parenting. These kids are going to grow up acting like addicts and make
There's
it
a
more likely.
possibility. Yeah.
It makes them more likely. It makes them more susceptible. Anyway, I came really close. Um, I was drinking all the time, and then I had children, and that's what stopped me. I was like, I can't do this to them as well. So I stopped. I went to
You broke the
therapy.
cycle.
I went to Al-Anon. That's when I recognized the codependency and the behaviors I had. I thought I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I had all the behaviors, like keep it all a secret. If somebody suspects anything or says anything, I would act outraged just like you were describing. Be
Oh,
like, no,
absolutely.
my family's fine. What are you talking about? Like um, CPS was involved with our family a lot.
Yeah.
But we were also an indigenous family and they never did anything. We were left.
Wow. I'm glad
So,
you became
we should
sober.
have got, we should have. Well, yeah, like I was on the road. Let's just say that. I wasn't full on, but I was on the road, definitely.
Yeah.
And I also like I smoked and I did drugs a little bit, like just marijuana. I never did any hard drugs, thank God. But I was never exposed to them. So that never happened. But the alcohol was always there.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
just
alcohol is one of the, in my opinion, the biggest drugs, and especially because it's legal. I want to respond to Louise here. It says, let's say she is struggling with addiction. Does pointed out help? She doesn't seem ready to change, and generally, does putting a spotlight on the addict help them or make a difference? I don't know. Louise, to be honest with you, I know you can't help an addict if they don't want the help. I do come from an era where I believe that shaming an addict, it does help sometimes, but I'm not doing this for her. Let me make that very clear.
Yeah.
I've already spoken on it. That so many people have offered resources. She's in complete denial, whatever. I'm doing this
It's
for
not her
everybody in
time
this
yet.
chat.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone that put a 1 in this chat this morning, everybody that gets yelled at in a different chat or gets told that they're not witnessing what they're witnessing, I'm here to tell all of you that you are correct in what you think you're saying, that you don't have to be gaslit out of it. And most importantly, you don't have to feel shamed for your experiences.
I just want to say, excuse me. I think that I have 3 children that I did a lot of damage to, and I think that's where 75% of my shame came from inactive addiction. I couldn't, I was, there was no way I was going to admit there was a problem because then I look like the absolute shittiest mother on the planet.
Well, that's the
So,
other part of it too,
yeah,
right? You
yeah,
have this person that comes on the internet and says, y'all, they swatted me. Y'all, they called the cops again. Y'all, CPS came again. But they're not accepting why all these things are happening because, again,
hmm
it's easier to point the finger and say it's because of the dark side or the people on the internet. No, it's because of you.
yeah,
It's your choices.
yeah. It is. It's absolutely, it's absolutely frustrating. Um, and to answer Luis's question a little further, asking does it pointing it out help? Well, I'll go and say that not pointing it out definitely doesn't help.
Yeah. That's
So,
right. Not pointing it out
yeah,
certainly doesn't help.
I mean, my children have no father anymore. Addiction took him, and one of my children found him.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
it takes lives every day, and all I bet you half the people in here have experienced a similar thing, someone close to them. Luckily I got clean like when fentanyl first hit the scene. It was like luckily I got out because I'd surely be dead because I
Hmm.
mean I should have been dead 1,000 times, you know.
Right.
But once but I just wanted to say this that um addiction and love for your children don't necessarily correlate. you
Mm-mm.
know I saw one little meme once that like struck home, and it still does, like 15 years later. It said, I when I looked at my son and realized that I couldn't stop for him, that's when I knew I was an addict.
Mm.
It has nothing to do with the love for your children.
Right.
you know
Addicts are selfish. It doesn't mean you don't love
right,
your family or
exactly.
friends or, and the other part of it is there are people that have never experienced addiction. So they don't recognize the signs and they don't recognize that, perhaps they're enabling.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I hear at NA meetings when especially parents is that, they have this heavy guilt. They have this shame and they, and all
Oh,
you
I
can
still
do is
do.
Yeah.
I still do. 10 years clean. I still do. I'll never get rid of it all. And when I see my kids struggle, my kids are grown now, but when I when I see them struggle with things that I did to them, I mean, I wasn't, it was basically me just checked out for years,
Right.
on the couch in a nod, and when I see the damage done, it's still, it will never go away. But I've learned to deal with it. I've learned to have my, support in place. And I talk to them about it. And I've apologized a million times. And every day that I get up and stay sober and make that decision is my living amends, because that's the only thing I can do is be better and stay clean and not hurt them anymore with it.
Amen. One big thing I hear a lot people get confused too is there's difference between being, off of drugs and being in recovery.
Right.
Recovery requires, and I know this is a lot of people debate this, and you can, but the biggest part of recovery is the program. You have to work you have to figure out your inner issues that cause that addiction to become a forefront to ever really beat that addict behavior. And a lot of people don't do that inner work. They don't do the step work. And it doesn't necessarily have to be via a 12-step program or whatever. You can order them off
Right.
Amazon, order a
Right.
book and do it yourself. But without that therapy, without that, basically the inner issues that led that addiction to be prioritized, you always maintain an addict's behavior. You don't quite
Yes.
overcome it.
Yes, you've got to. I mean, it takes, I mean, after, I used from the age of 13 until I was 42.
Mm.
And it takes an immense amount of work to rewire and to change your thinking and to have a different mindset. I've done 12-step programs. I've done refuge recovery, which is Buddhist based. I've been in therapy weekly. For 4 years, or 6 years, I had 2 therapists weekly. I still have a therapist weekly 9 years later. It takes constant work. And if you stop the work, if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So you got
Right.
to keep doing it.
I agree.
Congratulations to everybody. I see you. I see you.
So many in here are
Yeah.
clean in recovery, have experienced.
It brings tears to my eyes, It really does. Gratitude.
I
And
agree,
for
Stacy.
and for the addict that still suffers. I see all of you too.
Okay, let's get through this shit.
There were people there earlier.
His time, and his parents were Eastern, and then also at night to almost talk him into going to sleep and being able to rest.
So, Jared, as I was looking at some of the text messages, I was so, I don't know, I was just jarred by the way he 18.
And that's one of her biggest things she always does is like act like she's the disgust, like she's disgusted by what she's hearing, but she's really shaking herself awake.
The shake awake.
I mean, it's
I don't mean to
unbelievable.
laugh, but I've done it. So I know, I see it.
It's yeah.
And I
it's
can
fair.
laugh at myself all day. I mean, in certain company, I'll clown the hell out of myself for the shit
Right.
I've done, but
Hey, Croc.
Oh no. All right. So, all right, hold on.
If this was tiredness, she would just log off.
He's been texting with the guy
Right,
about his plans.
right.
They're in love. Is nobody interested in learning more about this character? Okay, so Tyler's people are saying.
Look at the face. Look at her face there. Look at the droop of her mouth. Okay.
Yep.
Big tall tale signs. Watch
Interested in learning
that.
more about this character. Okay, so Tyler's people are saying.
I mean, that's a major droop.
The itchy nose too.
Yeah, always the itchy nose.
Seen the interview? I mean,
Okay.
I was interviewed, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. But there is something that you said in the interview that was actually put into an article. Said something about there was
probably an alive and thriving baby, and this is what they get.
So gross to do this.
Yep. She doesn't even care.
This is it's infuriating during a case like this too.
Well, she's never like this during drama because she
Oh, no.
actually enjoys drama.
She engages in the drama. So I think literally she puts on videos just so she can not have to think so much.
Well,
and
because she also thinks if she misses one day of streaming, that she's losing out on hundreds of dollars and fall out of the algorithm and all this other stupid stuff. Yeah. So she puts this stuff on to just buy time and buy ad revenue and just to be live. It's not because she cares. Obviously, this isn't somebody that cares about the topic.
Oh no, and she doesn't even do it anymore. Which, let's just make it clear. I really hope she never does true crime again in this condition, because it's a travesty. It's a travesty. I'd rather her get on and be bitching about whatever every day and have no topic and just complain and whine like she's been doing. I'd rather she do that.
Yeah, I agree.
And when you're nodding like this, I would tell myself, okay, I'm awake now. I do the shake awake. Okay, I'm awake now. I literally would lie to myself repeatedly saying, I'm going to stay awake now. I'm good. I'm good.
Right. I'm not. Really, I'm good. I got this.
I really believe it. I really
That's
believe
why
it.
she
I
doesn't
did
log
that.
off.
Right. And sadly, I've done this when I got into a vehicle. I'm cool. I'm good. Because when you're walking around, you're fine. You walk, you get in your car, I would start moving and I would have to, I've totaled 2 vehicles. Thank God I've never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Thank God. I will be forever grateful for that. But we really tell ourselves, I'm good. I got it. Okay, I'm going to stay awake now. I'm going to stay
you
awake
think
now.
other people don't necessarily realize it either. You think you're fooling others too.
Yeah, because you're too zooted to know or care.
Yeah. I mean, you ever see somebody in a store and they're completely fucking high and it's obvious they're high, but they don't think they look high? I mean, it's
yeah.
That's what we have here. Is reality that ignorance and not to notice? No, they all notice.
No.
They all notice. They just won't say anything because one, Brittany will likely freak out on them and they'll lose the whole lead they're within. Or 2,
they'll be shamed. They
say it scenes. They're not going to say it publicly.
Right.
This makes me so sick.
Makes me so sick. Sure it does.
Yeah, makes me sick.
She can't even repeat what was just said, but it makes her sick, right? Look at this. Right back to sleep, y'all.
I can't.
I can't. Yeah.
I cannot.
I have no words.
I have no words because you don't even know what the fuck was just said.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Hold on. What?
Right, what? Because you don't know what was said. Look at her. I mean, look at the faces.
Uh-huh.
And not one person is like, log off.
This is extremely triggering, which is another reason this irks me so bad. Extremely triggering.
It's careless. It's careless.
I mean, how many hundreds of people every night, probably thousands, because of everybody restreaming her, that are triggered by this, that have using thoughts because of this.
Well, what's even more triggering about it is that there are people that justify it or excuse it. For me, and I said this before and I'll say it again. When I hear Brittany say things like, I'm in recovery or,
I'm recovered.
I'm recovered and all of that, it is so fucking insulting. It really is. It's like, no, you haven't.
And it's insulting to our intelligence.
Yeah,
like don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't tell me that water is dry because I don't believe you.
Right. Is it fun for addicts to watch other addicts be addicts? I think that is honestly just a kind of stupid question to ask. realizes there are people that have never experienced addiction that are kind of fascinated seeing it on the screen, which is why so many people film Kensington, for example, and people watch it.
Yes, yes.
Because it's hard to realize that there are people like this, or and
Yeah.
then how did it become like this and all of that? Well, it starts at some place, right?
There is a thing called euphoric recall, where some addicts do kind of addicts that have gotten clean, or even using addicts, they will watch another addict like this and fantasize maybe not even knowing it.
Really?
But remember, yes, it's called euphoric recall. I don't know if you
Oh.
Google it. Yeah, it's a thing. So that was actually a good question.
Mm.
For me, I take no pleasure in seeing something like this, but there are people who they probably don't even realize it, but they get caught watching stuff like this and they're like, whoa, and they keep watching even though it may damage their sobriety. But that's what it is.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never.
All right.
All right.
The eyes. I mean, she can't.
The eyes are a dead giveaway.
Yeah, now you hear the breathing and. I know, Casey.
All right, we're gonna have been deleted in an attempt to hide
Oh, the reading.
any evidence. Hold on a second.
Well, and then we have. Here, let me drop it. The video's right here.
How she took a shower, then cleared. I
mean,
the reading would take me out instantly. I had a job one time. I used to do in-home care, and I remember this one woman wanted me to read to her because she was a stroke patient and she couldn't do it. So I used to read to her, and I almost lost my job because I couldn't stay awake doing it. Reading took me out like almost instantly.
And in this case, she's reading about a newborn of all things, and doesn't even have the respect, the human decency, or the concern to do so when she's not nodding the fuck out.
Yeah. Because she lies to herself. She lies.
Right.
Addicts. All addicts do it. We lie to ourselves. That's how we stay. That's how we stay addicts.
Well, and that's a lot of people point out how much of a liar she is. Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things about addicts. They lie. I mean, it really is.
Right. Goes with
can't believe this.
Oh, I know what the crack. And I'd be drugged for it. Always with the little shakes, right?
Yep. Shake awake.
And she tries to act like she's just thinking. This is at 1.5 speed now.
You have been dragged through the mud. I have, yeah.
Wide awake when it comes to drama.
You showed. Are you being silly? Are you being facetious? At this point, I think you would be happy with a letter. Just something you can show up to say you got it, right? I know. But I'm not interested to the point where she's willing to go to court for it. I can't. I just have to.
Again, falling asleep.
Love you, Tracy. Thank you so much. You all with the pics are pretty. Oh, you're so sweet, Michelle. Thank you, guys. Opal says trying to get some much needed rest. Opal, I will try, Opal. Thank you so much, Tracy, for 15 months.
That was just last week or the week before that Larry was shit talking Jim for no fucking reason. Just because Jim is honest about it.
I don't even want to do this anymore. So here's what I'm going to have to do from now on when I come on screen. I'm going to have to do this.
Oh, listen to this. Listen to this addict, right? And again, addicted to YouTube, addicted to food, addicted to whatever. Listen to her try to gaslight all of you out of what the fuck we just saw, okay?
Yeah.
This is where I get you fucking piece of shit.
Here's what I'm going to have to do from now on when I come on screen. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to take my glasses off. And I'm going to have to sit here.
It's not your glasses, Beach. God.
Well, what adult has glasses that still require them to squint? You want us to believe
I
that,
know.
especially when she just got new pairs? You want us to believe that?
It's
And this
her.
is
It's a defense mechanism. She squints on purpose. She's developed the squinting came from
the
nodding out
squinting
like
is
this and getting
disgusting,
caught.
right? The
Yeah.
squinting's not her trying to read. It's not her eyes. It's a lie she now tells to justify why her eyes are half open. Okay. And then right here, this is after her own chat was saying she was falling asleep. And don't forget, she then comes back later and admits, yeah, I was falling asleep after gaslighting everybody that she wasn't falling asleep.
Yeah. Alienating her whole chat, yelling at her chat, saying, I'm not sleeping. Water's dry, y'all.
Right. So here's the clip of this date. This is why people started saying something. It's coming up right after this. And then you're going to hear her try to lie her way out of it. Right here. This is the same video, same clip. .5 speed this is at.
You have been dragged through the mud. I have, yeah. Happy holidays says the papers you showed. Are you being silly? Are you being facetious? At this point, I think you would be happy with a letter. Just something you can show up to say you got it, right? I know.
I'm going to get to that nonsense.
I'm not interested to the point where she's willing to go to court for it.
All right, this is all taking place before her big speech.
I love you, Tracy. Thank you so much. You all with the pics are pretty. Oh, you're so sweet, Michelle. Thank you, guys. Opal says try to get some much needed rest. Opal, I'm trying, Opal. Thank you so much, Tracy, for 15 months.
That was just last week or the week before that Larry was shit talking Jim for no fucking reason. Just because Jim is honest about it.
I don't even want to do this anymore. So here's what I'm going to have to do from now on when I come on screen. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to take my glasses off. And I'm going to have to sit here down or anything. Listen to me. This is so fucking aggravating to me. This screen is bright as fuck. Okay.
Let's go with the first.
The screen. The
computer
screen's too bright. Yeah.
How about turn it the fuck down then?
If you're gonna,
right, it's the screen's fault. That's the first thing, right? The screen's too bright, and that's what it is. And we're gonna hear the excuses of quite frankly, an addict. It's the screen.
Yeah,
Then turn the screen
we got them
down.
all. We got a Rolodex of excuses that just pop right out of our mouth, coming out of a nod like that.
Not that we don't have control over how bright the computer screen is, so we'll use that for today. And let's hear what else.
Sitting in a blackout room with the bright ass screen in our face.
Right.
It bothers my eyes.
Her eyes are fine right now, aren't they? Wide awake right now.
Huh? Is she bad? She's bad.
Not going to sleep. Not one time have I gone to sleep. I might look down.
No, it's not looking down.
I cannot. If I was going to sleep, my head would be bobbing like.
There's insulting
her head would be
intelligence.
Do you know how much your head has bobbed?
It was
right. Your head was bobbing. Thank you for pointing it out. I mean, and you know what? Because here's the other truth. She is being honest. She's not falling asleep. She's nodding out. There's a difference.
There is a difference, and so many people are confused by this. This is not sleep, because I would literally do this for 12 hours and be tired as hell, even though I just look like I just slept all night because I was in and out of a nod. But no, this is not resting. You don't hit REM. This isn't sleeping.
Nope. That's why she can come back mid-sentence.
Willingly align herself with a group of men, Target, Granny, and Barbecue, who made the statement. Jim is a super respectful, nice guy, but just unprovoked fucking stupid shit. And it's always about they're having an affair on their wife, or they're cheaters, or they're it's just fucking low blow shit. And she just escalates.
That face too. Yeah.
Shit, truth. Excuse me.
And
shit there. And then she hosts a panel with people like Lemon, and allows that host people like Seth.
There's that Bob you said would be happening, Brittany. It's right there.
There you go. There you
Matter
go.
of fact, I'll even I know it's
bob
sped up.
and weave. The bob and weave.
We'll slow it down since we know it's sped up, and let's notice the bob and weave and the shakes of awake and the eyes rolling.
Jim is a super respectful, nice guy, but just unprovoked fucking stupid shit. And it's always about they're having an affair on their wife, or they're cheaters, or they're it's just fucking low blow shit. And she just
who the fuck falls asleep while making a stank ass face?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on.
Escalate. I appreciate it. The shit, truth. Excuse me. The shit there. And then she hosts a panel with people like Lemon, and allows that. Host people like Seth Rogers when he pretended, fuck that. She. I mean. I cannot with this. Y'all, I hope people are
Itching their
seeing through
nose.
this. I hope
Yep.
people are seeing through this. The
Oh,
lies
I'm
are
seeing through it.
incredible.
Willingly aligned herself with a group of men to target Granny and Barbecue.
Look at that right there. This the
Oh,
same
right.
night.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
The eye roll. The eye
It's the
rolling in her
same night
head.
that
Yeah.
she says that she has to come on camera, sit up, take her glasses off. I'm not falling asleep. Watch that major eye roll right there and tell me that's not happening.
Willingly aligned herself with a group of men to target Granny.
It rolled in the back of her head. But she's not sleeping.
And Barbecue, who made this statement, we can get you into the Me Too movement and out of. She is proudly represented by an attorney who wrote
She just popped the mic.
Pamphlet for sexual predators on how to get off on sexual assault allegations. She is a danger with her behavior and her ignorance.
Oh my God. The
not to my physical safety.
nonsense.
Wow.
She almost fell out of the seat.
Yeah. Oh, do you know how many times I've done it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've
You're
fallen.
not of an audience and trying to convince them that is not happening. That's the difference. So she's sitting right there in front of all of us, just did a whole spiel about how she's not sleeping and how dare you all say it, to the point she almost fell out the fucking seat from the head bobbing. I mean, look at this.
With her behavior and her on how to get off on sexual assault allegations. She is a danger with her behavior and her ignorance. Not to my physical safety or anybody else's. I do not
Wow.
believe.
Always with the wow. Are you wowing the speech being heard? Or are you wowing the fact that you almost
That's
fell
what
the
I'm.
fuck over?
And if you're listening to what nonsense is saying,
yeah, it's just the timing of it all. You're a danger.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
Funsicle, welcome. Thank you for becoming a member.
People like yeah, they
oh, let me put it. Oh no, it's the same night, so it's sped up.
Back on Seth bad.
They're gonna tell me that's not fucking nodding. This Ray not nodding.
Is this real?
Oh, is it real? That's what we're asking ourselves too.
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah. What?
The what?
It's crazy to me.
Oh,
They're really fucking saying that I'm nodding off.
The same night. It's crazy to her to say she's not
crazy to me. They're really fucking saying that I'm nodding off.
Yeah, yeah, you're a victim of us. We know why she's holding her neck, because it hurts from all the time she's fucking nodding out.
Yep.
Beeping and bopping all over the place. Funsicle, thank you for the gift it. Yeah, that was that. So that is just Saying's video. Great video. Well done.
Great video. Yeah.
And that's unfortunately the reality of what we're witnessing.
Yeah. And I once again want to say this isn't. I am not sitting up here shaming anybody. Shaming someone would be, you are such a piece of shit. You can't even get your life together. You can't. That's shaming.
I'll be honest. I am going to learn in a few minutes, so
yeah.
I'll let you go before I do that.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just to me, for me, that's counterproductive.
Yeah.
And there's no need for it, like, is it necessary? No, not for me. I mean, you got your own thing going, so hey, whatever you want to do, but I just want to let people know that I'm not going to shame anybody, because you know what, I was an addict. Even I don't have it. There's no shame in my game. I was who I was. I did what I did. It was my, for lack of a better word, it was my journey. And, I've come through it. Thank God. Many people don't. I don't like to speak on families, but I'll just say this. My greatest fear happened in my life. My children found one of their parents dead.
Mm-hmm. And
it destroys people sometimes. Luckily, my family has made it through that. But it's a reality, and that's my biggest fear. I mean, when she does an afternoon stream and can't stay awake and says, "Well, I got to go get my kids, y'all," it scares the ever loving shit out of me. It scares me to death. And that's the issue here. The issue here is addiction destroys lives, and it's very, very selfish. I was very, very selfish for many, many years to subject the people in your life to this. And there is help, and there is There are resources. If anyone ever, I'm open. I will talk to anybody. I don't care if we're sworn enemies. I will talk to anybody who needs help or wants advice. Not that I'm some expert, because I'm not. I am an expert in my addiction. That's for sure. So,
Amen to that.
there's ways to get a hold of me on my page, and so there's that. But I'll hop down, Granny. I really appreciate you letting me come up, and
Yeah, thank
we
you
could
for
have a
coming up.
conversation, and I'll say a little prayer for the addict that still suffers.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Mystic says, thank you, Mystic. So I'm going to go ahead and remove, and I'm going to get on into it. So here's what I will shame. I will shame the addict that blames me for what has taken place in their lives. Okay, that's one. Oh, we have a new guest. Hold on. Hello.
Hi.
How
How
are
are
you?
you?
Good. How
I'm
are you?
good. I just wanted to come on. I'm working and my typing's not always the best. But I just wanted to say that my
You're
whole
cutting out.
not to get. Am I? Oh
Yeah.
goodness. Is
Now
that
you
any
came back.
better?
Try it again. Yeah.
Okay. I without getting all teary-eyed, I just wanted to say that by having this open discussion where people can talk about addiction, which is really heavy, and I'm going to start crying, and I apologize.
Wow.
I'm somebody that doesn't struggle with addiction. However, I have loved ones that, and by you holding this open discussion, you're helping so many people. I don't think that you realize how much you're helping just for people like me, who I said doesn't struggle, but I have loved ones that do, that I've stood beside for decades. Just to sit here and listen while I'm working is therapeutic.
Wow. Thank you. You're going to make me
And I
cry.
just want, I know, I'm trying not to get all mushy, and usually I'm a hard ass. I've always been in chats. I'll share a little bit of background, let you go. Because I can run my mouth like anybody else on YouTube can. I'll share a little bit with you. On YouTube, I used to be Uric Hunt. And I used to have Brittany as my avatar, sleeping at a desk, fat, bugs, one of those people. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer this past April.
I'm so sorry.
And I know it's okay. I didn't need chemo, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm doing great. So thank you. But just continued prayers for anybody that is fighting any kind of disease, whether it be addiction, a terminal illness, which can be addiction, but just pray for them. However, going through that, and I'm 52, cancer doesn't run in my family, but I was diagnosed in April, and it hit me like a freaking ton of bricks. I was fat. I wasn't lazy. I always work. I'm a dog groomer, so I'm always moving. But I was very cold-hearted to the point where, like, my daughter, she's 35 years old, and she's like, I don't think I've ever seen you cry, Mom. And she's 35. And
Wow.
because I'm a closet crier, I'm one of those, you shut it, you come out of the closet, the room, the bathroom, wherever you're at, in a corner, whatever, and you act like it didn't even happen.
Right.
And I harbored, throughout all of my years, I harbored a lot of emotion because it was how I was raised. I'll give you something to cry about.
Right.
My dad was an asshole. He was a stickler. He's still around. I still love him. But I was the first child of 5. So I had every rule under the freaking sun.
Yeah.
And did I ever struggle with addiction? Yeah. I mean, I ended up pregnant at 16 years old, and I was drinking like Southern Comfort and Mad Dog 2020. Like, I don't even know how I got this stuff at
Holy
15.
shit.
Yeah. So by the time I hit 21, I was like, alcohol, no, I'm good. And I never, because I think I went through that at such a young age, I can't say that I never struggled with addiction. I don't now. When I was 21, it just didn't appease me to go to a bar.
Right.
because I guess I spent my whole high school drunk. I don't know. Who knows? However, we all have our own backgrounds. We all have our own stories. And I just came up simply just to say thank you to anybody who has come up. I've been listening since you started. It's truly therapeutic to know that people struggle, whether it be addiction, mental health, whatever. And here I am crying again. That's the harboring the emotions for 52 years. And now that I've had surgery and, all of that, I cry over picking up freaking trash. I'm not even gonna, I'll cry helping the neighbor.
I cry everything too.
Oh my God, it's horrible. And I never was like that.
I think one of the biggest things for me is that there's always this onus on all of us to care, right? Like, oh, well, care about the impact this is having to our life. And what about our children? And, how dare you point this out? Is this any good for her to be pointed out? My thing is, we're all human too, right? Like my kids matter, right? I matter. My mental health matters. My addiction matters. Do you know how hard I had to fight to remain in my sobriety this past year?
Oh, yeah. I could see it. I've been following you for maybe 2. I came over here because I followed Brittany at one point in time. And I'll tell you, because this is so heavy, and this whole stream is a little heavy, and that's okay. But just to lift it up a little bit, I started unfollowing Brittany because I could not fucking stand, excuse my French, her fucking chewing. I couldn't stand it. I was like, I'm gonna come through this freaking phone. I just want to smack her. So by the time she started falling asleep on stream, I was already gone. I think I even messaged Mallory and I was like, you know what? It's kind of unprofessional for her to just be chomping, while she's talking. Like, that is so rude. And I can't stand to listen to it. Like, even in my real life, if somebody's smacking their food, like, I'm like, close your freaking mouth. And you don't have a dog, but themselves, anybody listening in chat that understands, it's equivalent to smacking their food. And I'm telling my dogs all the time, stop freaking licking. But I thought her back then just because I couldn't do it. And then I've just seen her spiral since then. And, I follow a few of you that, that maybe don't coincide with each other, but I have to say that you're one of the ones that I've stuck to. Even, throughout all of it, I've seen change from the time that I've come in and watching you to now. And I could hear throughout this past year the struggles. And I can understand that you at times had to log off just to, try to hang on to a peace of mind, try to hang on in reality, because all of this can be so heavy. And when somebody's coming at you like that, you don't know, because it is internet. You don't know if you walk out the door and something's going to happen. Right. I get it. So I commend you for sticking it out. I understand that you needed, at times you needed space, even though I'm sure I'm not the only one that was a little bit selfish and was like, come on, I need you to come on. This is my therapy. I'm tired of listening to all these other people. There's only a couple other creators that I can stand to listen to. And I'm not going to share those here, but I can stand to listen to. Other than that, like, I can't even stand to listen to Brittany anymore when people freaking review her. It's her voice and her laugh. I just want to strangle her and be like, that laugh is so fucking annoying.
Well, it's fake is what it is. So there's this fakeness that's with her.
That's yeah.
I tuned in last night to listen to somebody who happened to be playing her, and she has this, she's back on this, I'm a tough guy, I'm Billy Badass, she's laughing and all that, and it's fucking duper's delight. And every time she has something like a wellness check or a CPS visit or a SWAT, and she has assholes that back her up that she's a victim of it, she gets in this duper delight attitude. And that is what we are experiencing. And it's typical of somebody like her to feel like, oh yeah, I just got a ton of money by fooling these people that I'm a victim, when in reality, the only victim is the children that are being impacted by this every day. And there are people that justify it, they excuse it. It's just, it is so infuriating. And that's where I get it. I lose my empathy of like, oh, well, poor, yeah, I'm so tired of hearing poor her,
Yeah.
poor her,
Yeah.
poor her could log the fuck off and get it together. Poor her could acknowledge that she is quote unquote not falling asleep, but obviously too tired to be coherent and run the stream and log the fuck off. I am so tired of the excuses given to her and the people screaming, but her kids, we have fucking kids too. I
Yeah.
got fucking kids too that matter. I got addiction that matters. I got mental health that matters. It is not
Yeah.
all what is out here poking and prodding every fucking day, every damn day. If she wanted all this to stop, first way to do so is to not fucking engage. But like the Billy Badass, just last night, she's on there and she's calling nonsense all these names and she got nicknames for everybody. And we're going to make this happen and we're going to make feds trend and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But as soon as the duper's delight is done and the giddiness is over, she will be right back on there telling you all what a fucking victim she is and how she can't handle it. I can't stand it. Imagine this bitch going into a courtroom with her false victimhood against you and then sitting there saying, well, if you consider asking a judge to make her stop going real life, yeah, bitch, it is real fucking life. What do you mean it's not? You didn't just ask a judge to make me stop. You didn't go and try to get an RO against me. You fucking accused me of running a criminal enterprise. So when I hear this whole like Brittany and everybody's dogpiling, they won't leave her alone. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I think they're absolutely serious because you do have those people who are like that, whether it be on the internet or whether it be in real life. They are sick. Those are the people that literally, outside of any type of addiction, mentally, they need therapy. Just because she's who we're discussing right at the moment, but anybody who can relate to her, they probably need to seek some type of therapy as well. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I didn't think that I needed therapy at all until I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm like, there's got it, like I got to do something. And so, long story short, that's when I was like, I can't poke by wasting my guitar that to me resembles her, or my name. I don't have nothing to hide. I came out with Pink October because it resonated with me. My birthday is in October. I love the color pink. I'm not really a pink breast cancer. I don't really support the pink for breast cancer. I think at this point they've had so many campaigns to pink for breast cancer and breast cancer research, and by this time you guys should have a cure with all of the money that has went into the corporate politics of the pink ribbon. And we won't get into that. Maybe I'll create maybe I'll do something where that's what I talk about on my channel. But yeah, outside of that, I have a little bit of a softer heart. So I just wanted to say thank you. You're helping out people that you probably don't even realize that you're helping.
I appreciate you coming up and saying that. Thank
And
you.
you got this, and you'll come out on top. Real recognizes real.
Yep.
Isn't that what they say?
It is. Thank you,
Well,
Pink October.
You're welcome. You have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey, Gigi.
Hi, Granny. This is actually PJ's second chance. I don't know my password for the Google thing.
Oh, okay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. What you got?
Well, I wanted to share a story that I really don't tell a lot of people.
Are you sure? Because there's a lot of nasty people. I don't know if...
Yeah, well, I got triggered about the pew pew thing. Because I do have a story about that, and I actually shared it with Brittany after all that happened. And of course, I didn't hear back. But,
of course not.
Well,
thank you, Shiloh.
I grew up with an alcoholic dad. So I always knew what the signs were and everything. Well, part of the reason of my divorce and the end of my marriage is because my ex ended up being an alcoholic. And I tried to get him to stop, go to rehab, everything. Well, at the end of the school year, I'm trying to make this as short as I can. At the end of the school year, when the kids got out for the summer, my best friend and I would take the girls to the beach. And we'd have like 6 teenage girls to take care of. And it so happened it coincided with a work trip for my ex.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up coming back to our condo after he had been to a work dinner and was just plastered. I mean, he was just drunk as all get outs and in a bad mood. And some other things happened at other times before this, so it wasn't the first time.
Right.
But I ended up telling him to leave. And he goes off and pitches his little fit and he pulls out a pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, when he was getting it out, it went sliding across the floor and I got it, which I don't know much about pew pews. I know a little, but not enough to matter.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's talking about shooting everybody up in the condo, the kids, my best friend, her husband, me, him, everybody. So I had already had 911 pulled up on my phone and I was about to hit it and he knocked my phone out of my hand. So I had to turn the safety off the gun. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Okay.
didn't mean to say the GUN.
No, it's okay.
and and that's how I got him out of there. And you know, it turned into him saying he was going to go and harm himself, and
Right.
you
Typical.
know,
Yeah.
just a lot. And at that point, I really didn't care if he did. I hate to
Right.
say it that way, but I had to get him out of there. We had 6 teenage kids across the hall.
Yeah.
And my point is, Brittany, if you're listening, it only takes one time.
Yeah.
What if he wouldn't have dropped the pew pew?
No, if he dropped it and it went off.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so
Anything
many
could
whataboutisms, right?
anything could have happened.
That's where my
And
frustration comes in because only on YouTube do people try to normalize these things that are so far, it's dangerous. It's not normal. And because, they claim these YouTube politics that don't exist, we're all supposed to ignore the red flags that are waving. And
well,
I'm not doing it no more. I'm not.
no, I don't blame you. If it's enough, you do something about it. Now, I loved my husband with all my heart. I really, really was in love with that man.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not going to put myself nor my child through all of that.
Right.
And if anybody's listening, you can leave. You figure out a way. And I don't know. I'm just going to assume maybe Craig has mental issues.
I mean, obviously, yeah. But
And
what you
putting
don't do though,
alcohol on top of that
right?
is dangerous.
If she wants to use the excuse that Craig's been going through something and he has all these issues and he's been going through something, then why did you switch the man from beer to hard liquor? Because your audience is buying it.
Well,
She's the one going out driving and purchasing it. So why'd
well,
you do
she's
that?
enabling. That's
Right.
enabling him.
They get high together. He fucking said it. He said it. You're higher than me. That's what they are. A dysfunctional, chaotic, drama-loving fucking teenagers that never grew up. I mean, it's who they are. And then when you come on the internet and you got these other mentally, immature people coming out here and justifying everything they're hearing and seeing because they may dislike somebody, you're just as bad. There's nothing normal about it. And don't give me the bullshit that we don't know what goes on in that home because when you hit live, you're opening a public fucking door to your life.
And
I
the
don't have
sad
to
part
ignore
is,
background noises.
well, she can deny that we don't know what goes on in that house. By the behaviors that they put out here on the internet, a lot of us have been through some of this. We're not dumb.
Right. That's what it is. We don't have to ignore what we are hearing because Brittany doesn't want to face reality. Period.
Well, you better wake the fuck up before it's too late.
Or keep nodding out and just see how long it fucking lasts. I mean, and every single person on here that justifies, excuse, coddles, or ignores, Let's see what you say when something tragic does eventually happen. It's quite infuriating. It really is.
It just breaks my heart for the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Even not, it breaks my heart for all the people that get blamed for the way she decides to live. That's what breaks my heart.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, she gets an alleged SWAT. We know it's not a SWAT, but what do? They come out and they blame all of us. You want to talk about incitement? You're trying to convince the internet that somebody over here must have called a SWAT in on you. Well, you're inciting people to do the same back in return. She won't even fool you to figure out who did the swap, because I guarantee it doesn't match and come back with the name she wants it to.
Don't even get me started on that, because I was one of the ones that questioned a lot of that when our group split up.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a fucking SWAT. That's for sure.
I know. The stories get bigger and bigger if people don't realize that. It starts out smaller and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yep. Hey, oh, there she goes.
Hello. I was being quiet in the background. I was just listening. Carry on.
No, you're fine.
You're all doing all the things. I'm just like, yep.
Join on in. Yeah, no.
Hey, everybody.
If my little tip, I mean, there's a lot more to my story than just that.
Oh, yeah.
But if that little bit helps anybody that's listening, I hope they take some advice and take care of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to, at the end of the day, we're responsible. You know what I mean? And that's all it comes down to. And as long as she has people telling her there's nothing wrong or giving excuses to justify and including her own excuses, nothing's going to change.
No.
Nothing's going to change. So long as she can take those, because listen, I don't know how many of you experience something traumatic and immediately make a thumbnail and go live to fucking talk about it. That's abnormal within itself. But how many experiences and then you get money rained down on you for it. She loves this shit. What you are witnessing the past few days as that quote unquote SWAT is Duper's delight. Look it the fuck up. The giddiness, the Billy Badass again. She's a tough guy. It is exactly what it looks to be. She is loving the attention she has received off all this. She is loving the pity she has received off this because she's so fucking pitiful. Her validation comes from the internet. Okay?
And the money.
Right.
She sits here and says all of the people that do talk about her, like Queen and Clue and everybody else, are in it for the money.
Oh, yeah. Let me, here's a news flash to anybody. Here's the honest truth about that, Gigi. We fucking are. What do you think we come on here for? Why do you think we joined the membership, the program to be monetized? Yeah, a lot of it is money. Right. So is she. Exactly. Why is it taboo to admit that we go live and it's a form of income? Why is that taboo to admit? But at the end of the day, so does she. She's the bitch that won't even take a day off because she acts like to her audience, y'all, I didn't go live yesterday. So if you can help out with Cash App or Venmo, missing one day, it ain't breaking the bank. I can tell you that. But yes, people go live and join the partnership through YouTube to make fucking money. That is true. Hey, Red Castle.
And the thing about SWAT, my son is on a SWAT team.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the other guest. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. But my son is on a SWAT team. They don't SWAT like that.
No,
you don't know they're
SWAT.
Coming. They don't knock on your door.
No, they don't say, yes, you can call the person. We're here to question and we'll wait right here. And oh, that room's off limits. Okay, we won't go in there. Oh, the children are asleep. Okay, we won't wake them up. SWAT goes in, they clear the house. They have everybody outside on the front lawn being questioned by others as they're clearing the house. It was not a fucking SWAT. Again, if we're going to say that any part of this community has ever been true crime, let's start with the basics. That was not a fucking SWAT.
No.
Ugh. What do you got, Red Castle? Welcome to the panel.
Thank you very much. Well, I have a theory for you on this whole idea of addiction. Like you said, it can be addiction to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a theory with BJ is a lot of it's Munchausen. People with
Really?
Munchausen, they love negative drama right along with the positive attention. Any attention they can get, they love it.
She did say she's a hypochondriac. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even to her kids, how she babies her little kids. I mean, these kids are like preteens and she acts like they're 4 or 5 years old and they can't do anything for themselves. Yet somehow they can upload videos to the internet with her credentials.
Well, to be fair, I think she tries to convince her audience that she treats them like babies, but I think in reality, they're left to fend for themselves.
Yeah,
I
I
think that's an
agree.
act
I
she
agree.
put on. But I don't think
Right.
I disagree that it would be Munchausen or whatever because we want to hear children coughing constantly in the background. She'd be running them to the
Well,
doctor. She'd be at the hospital, the doctors. They begin treatment, diagnosis, all of that, and that's not
But
happening.
I'm not necessarily saying it's that. I'm saying it's kind of similar to that. It falls right in with like the addiction part. The negative attention is what I'm saying. Like she craves the attention, and that's like with breathing and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
I
How
think
she'll
she's
sit there, she'll wheeze, and oh, it's my asthma, but she doesn't get up and do anything about it. Doesn't go to the hospital, take care of it. Hasn't gotten her leg fixed or whatever.
well, yeah. I think that's because she just loves being pitied. I think she's just pitiful. I think she's covert narcissist, to be quite honest.
I'll agree with that. I'll
That's what
agree
I
with that.
think it comes down
I have
to.
to say this: your assessment was spot on. When I first found you, Granny, it was through BJ because I tuned into her, and quite frankly, I was a little bored with her, but I was just had nothing to do at the time, and she kept going and talking about you, so I had to
Uh-huh.
find out. And so then I came to your channel, and you were saying something when I tuned in as a back and forth. So I watched for a while to see who I felt like was the one provoking it. And let me tell you, it's obvious.
Yeah, thank you.
She
Thank
can't
you.
keep you out of her mouth, even when
Nope.
you have long periods of time not giving her any attention.
Yep.
And all the things that you've said about how she likes the attention and wants people to call so that she's the victim, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Right before dark has, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rush through this, but I've got to
No,
get
you're
back
fine.
to my cleaning right quick. But I had to get on here because she infuriates me too. I can't stand the stuff she does, and she's gonna end up messing around with CPS and wanting people to call them and play these games because they're not an agency you really want to play with and get involved in your life.
Well, I think she convinced herself and Craig that they can just sue CPS.
That could be it. That could be it. She might be looking for that lawsuit. She seemed to think she doesn't have to worry about them, but what she doesn't realize is sometimes they sit back and they just gather their evidence little by little, and then they show up in the middle of the night with no warning given.
You know why she doesn't worry about them? Because she has convinced herself that the problem's not within her or her household, that is the internet. And then again, she has idiots on here that co-sign that theory for her. When most of us that live in the real world and we're not, suckered and induced in YouTube drama all day, we recognize that it all starts and ends at home. That without her hitting go live at 3 a.m. with those kids in the background, there wouldn't be things for people to hear, right? So in her mind, the problem is the internet, and she's convinced herself of that so much so that she tried to convince an attorney of it, okay? And when it came down to wanting the proof and needing the proof, he poofed because there was no proof, okay? So that's what it is. She thinks in her world, she is this victim of the big bad internet, and she thinks she can convince everybody else of that being true. We heard her say it to the officer. Well, I've been compiling evidence because I'm being badly harassed online, when a normal fucking person would say, if I'm being this badly harassed online, that is leading to supposed SWATs, CPS visits, and wellness checks, maybe I need to change what the fuck I'm doing online, right? But she doesn't think she has her self-awareness. Never mind accountability.
I totally agree. I think she really has convinced herself that she really is that victim that she wants to be.
Yes, and that's exactly what it comes down to. So they believe that if CPS and the local police keep allowing YouTube to allow them to show up at their house, well, we'll just sue them because they're sue
Craig
happy
in the
broke
background with his,
motherfuckers.
I'm going to sue the police. Okay, you
Yeah.
try that, Craig. Go ahead.
That's exactly
Oh
what
my
they
God.
said.
Well, it's also part of the problem where social media, wherever you find it, gives somebody who is struggling with an addiction, no matter what it may be, instead of an outlet, it can become a bigger part of the initial problem, where it provides constant reinforcement, constant positive reinforcement from people who genuinely mean well. They do mean well.
I'm
And
not
that's
sure all of them do.
really, a lot of them do. A lot of them don't say it, Granny, and trust me, I'm on the same struggle. I get it, because I have to constantly take myself 100 steps down from the way I feel on a constant basis.
Excuse me, y'all. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going to hop down.
Oh, thank you for coming up, Red Castle. It's always a pleasure to
Thanks
hear
for
the
hearing me out.
voice behind the avatars. Thank you.
Thanks. Nice talking to y'all. Bye-bye.
You as well. Nicole just
Hi.
came up too, so perfect timing. Sorry, continue, Wei. I apologize.
No, I was just saying it becomes part of the issue, because instead of then there being a point at which somebody has their own personal come to Jesus moment.
Right, self-reflection, a moment to self-reflect. Yeah.
Yes, or whether they have lost everything else. Usually it's through loss. People lose family members because they can't deal with it anymore. They lose friends, they lose a job, they lose their livelihood. Whereas social media does give wiggle room, and that can be very dangerous for certain people. And unfortunately, then that danger we all become aware of usually way too late. Look at the amount of people who have been in this community who have been and gone because, and that's just this community alone, who have been and gone because of their addictions.
Yeah.
And it's too late. And I've been part of the problem too. I got up and defended Cam and Ali at one point because of what was stated was not 100% accurate. And then I had a look at myself and was like, oh, you really messed up. You really messed up.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. People don't want to believe, they feel like they know this person, so it can't be true, or they believe the excuses that are being given. And before you know it, you're caught, enabling, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And this is true. Brittany has straight up said when CPS came, or when the SWAT, or when the police show up, that she's vindicated. She loves when that happens because it vindicates her victimhood. Because instead of Brittany saying, well, shit, without Craig waving around a pistol, this would have never happened, Brittany gets to say, without the haters watching a public live stream, this would have never happened. And there's no person in her corner to say, no, Brittany, without your initial actions, none of this would have happened. She just doesn't have that. She got rid of every person that would give that.
Yep, those that were there that would have said it have gone, and those who would have said it at one point who have gone back no longer speak about it.
Right, they pretend they never told the whole world.
Yep.
What you got, Nicole?
Hi, guys. You guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I just have to give just a little bit of little bit of awareness, I guess. I at one time, about 6 years ago, took subs and abused subs, and what Brittany does at night is exactly what I would have did. You get your script and and maybe you're supposed to take 1 or 2, you take 3 or 4, and you can be up for hours, but whenever you start to nod, you can't stop it. You know what I mean? You just can't stop it.
Right.
And that day when she held that up in her hands, and I don't care, I took them for 3 years. 100% that's what it was. And 100% her sitting at that table or in that chair, that is exactly what that is. I mean,
well,
I've seen it forever.
Let's slow it down and talk about that for a minute. We got her driving and pulling up right to the clinic door. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. We got her.
And you have the money once a month to fill the script.
Right. You got the amount that she needed each month for her supposed internet bill. It happens to be the same price, and went up with the price of the clinic. Drives to the clinic. You got her admitting that she used to be an addict. You got her admitting, after I called it out, that she used to be on Suboxone. Then you got her legit holding one in her fucking hand on top of all the nodding. At what point do people acknowledge? It's almost like you have a roadmap and people are like, well, let's detour here. Let's detour there. It's right there. It's fucking right there. It's in your face.
I mean, me being someone that took them, I can even tell when she goes on if she has it under her tongue.
Yeah,
you can hear it. You can, if you know it, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, and you can tell because she'll be good for a little bit, and you can even tell if she's taking extras. I mean, you just can, and And the sad thing of it is, and I don't know, I mean, because I don't know if those people are just that stupid. I mean, I don't know, or blind, or if they don't want to see it, or like you say, they're just scared. But I mean, because to look at reality and hear her, do I think she's probably ever been around, the bars or drug scene? Probably not. But I mean, whenever I don't know how someone can be snoring and you'd be like, oh, she's not asleep. I mean, blows my mind. It blows my
literally
mind.
see somebody falling asleep on camera and then turn around and say they weren't sleeping. That's what's infuriating, is the gaslight that's taking place. But to be honest, Nicole, your audio is pretty bad. It's very
okay. I just wanted to, give you you're right, 100%, and that's exactly what that was. So thank you for letting me come up, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Okay, thank you. Bye.
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 To follow up on what Nicole was saying there, real quick,
jumping down, Gigi.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump down. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right, Gigi. I'm sorry.
I know what it's like when you're trying to get down and it's like, oh, now's the chance.
Let me go.
Thank you, Gigi.
Y'all have a blessed day and Christmas. Merry Christmas.
You too.
Bye.
It's nice here, like although it's such a desperately sad and painful topic, the good things that comes out of this is that there is such an amount of basic common bond that runs through us all, whether it has been your personal experience, something you've experienced in your family, a loved one, whoever, that we can all relate. And that's part of what we're trying to put across, that so many of us see it, we hear it. We don't need to be in Brittany's lounge to be able to see what's going on. We know.
Exactly.
We know.
And I'm tired of being told we don't.
Yep.
I'm tired of people feeling like they it is not. I'm not going to pretend to not recognize what I recognize. I'm just not going to do it.
Yep.
I mean, after all, this bitch accused me of running a criminal enterprise, and I'm supposed to have some type of filter on to coddle her. I'm supposed to pretend that I don't hear the obvious noise in the background. I'm supposed to pretend that I don't realize that this man's a piece of shit. I'm supposed to pretend that I don't see her blatantly nodding out on the screen. Why? Because YouTube politics tell me I can't fucking talk about it? Fuck you.
Even that is deeply bizarre, that somehow people think by removing Craig from the live stream means that they remove the damage that he is causing, not just Brittany, but their entire family. Let's call a spade a spade. It's part of the issue. Just because you don't hear him, again, I think it's part of what has caused what we're witnessing. And
do we really believe?
Sad. It's real sad.
Do we really believe that this woman that thrives in online drama doesn't thrive on offline drama? I mean, Craig's not the issue here. They're both the issue. She's just as culpable as he is. She's just as fucking guilty. She didn't stay with this man for allegedly 15, 16 years because they're polar opposites, and she's just such a sweet Christian woman that just happens to live with this drunken, abusive piece of shit. No, they're peas in a pod.
Yep, codependency in a nutshell.
Right. Two fucking, in my opinion, addicts who never outgrew their teenage years. Hence the lack of schedule, lack of parenting duties, lack of fucking offline activities, lack of anything going on in that home that would normalize, that resemble a normal life. It's not normal to have young children up till 3, 4, 5 a.m. It's not fucking normal. It's also not normal for parents to be up to 3, 4, 5 a.m. It's not fucking normal.
Right. There's an awful lot of parents in here, and there's an awful lot of people who've experienced a lot of shit, and those things are not the same. We again, very bizarre. Shady, get your recording button ready, because I've got something to say to you, Shady. You should be ashamed, because the fact you don't see and hear with your own beady little eyeballs and ears, the fact that there is something wrong going on in that home, Shame on you. Shame on every nurse, every medical practitioner that sits in that chat and ignores it. Shame on you also.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear her child night after night, that's now 3 nights in a row, where a child is coming to waken their mother and you can hear it, you can hear the concern in the child's voice. 1, because they don't want to be shouted at, and 2, because they're scared.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Because
it's
last night
like to try and waken your mother and have your mother not respond?
Or how about when she does respond and she yells at you?
Right.
And says,
And that
Jesus.
happens often. I wasn't doing that. And then it's only an hour later whenever other people are telling her. And it's like, well, you've just shouted at your kid. Go and sort that out.
Yeah.
Your kid is 100 times more important. What are you doing?
Yep. And then she says, well, they zoom in to listen to my background noise. We don't have to fucking zoom in to hear it.
Yep. Why are you so invested? Why are you not?
Thank you, Wei. I said this the other day. I'm so tired of this idea being thrown out here that we have to care more about her children than she fucking does. I am so tired of it. What did I just hear the other day that I was baffled? She said it in the clip, and that the hotel people, that the hotel people were evil because they would have let her get into the hotel room earlier with her little children. Why the fuck did you leave your house with your little children without plans on where to fucking go? You want the hotel to break their policy? They're evil because they don't care more than you do? I am so tired of this idea. Like it is, again, and no respect is given to any of our children.
Yeah, everybody owes her a favor. And again, that's one of the common tales there, where it's everybody else that's the issue. There's never a moment of self-reflection, a moment of changed behaviors and adaptation to, right, I can't do that again. I need to learn how to do better for myself. Those moments never happen. We can see it, and it's deeply sad to watch. People can say all they want that, or Brittany's going to try and twist it into, well, you all say you watch for entertainment. No, this is not entertaining. Yes, you do stupid shit and you are being beyond ridiculous, and people will clown you every day for the stupid shit you say, but we are watching you in a deeply distressing situation, and your friends are letting you down. You are letting your kids down. It is what it is.
It's what she's made it to be, too.
Yep.
As it is. It has become her scapegoat for everything. Brittany is the biggest victim in the world, and nobody will ever top that. She has zero accountability or responsibility, to make any changes because, everybody else should stop, not her. It's okay if she wants to go live and respond and, be all nasty. That's fine. Do what you want to do. But stop crying fucking victim when people finally respond. Stop crying victim that somebody recognized that your son is panically trying to wake you up again. That child should be fucking laying in bed. And matter of fact, he should be, I'll never forget when she said, oh, well, he's awake because he has nightmares. As a fucking mother, I would never sit in front of a computer with my child 2 feet away, wide awake because of nightmares, talking about the Idaho 4. I'd be laying in bed with them, reading a book and comforting them until they're no longer. And then it changed from, well, it's not nightmares. Then it was sleep apnea. What was it? It was what is it when a child can't fall asleep? And I'm like, they're not going to allow a child to go a year, 2 years without being able to fucking sleep. They're going to have on some type of prescribed sleep medicine. They're going to have sleep studies. They're just going to allow. It's the most crucial time for a child is when they sleep. It's a huge part of their development. Insomnia. Oh, well, he suffers from insomnia. Oh, okay, so have him sit right here while we talk about true crime or cursing out people on the internet because, that's what great fucking parents do.
Let me tell you a gory tale about somebody else's child being literally taken in the street while my child sits 2 feet behind me and listens to it. That's so bizarre.
And then wonder why they have nightmares, right? Maybe if that child could rest easy at night, knowing mommy and daddy are also in bed sleeping like most of the fucking world's doing. But no, instead they hear daddy down there cocking a gun and threatening people on the internet, and mommy's falling asleep at the computer, and oh, here goes the music, and now they're fighting. It's so hectic. It is so, and people on here act like it's fucking normal. Normalize it. No big deal. Stop listening, they say. Stop zooming in to hear the background noise. Stop calling it out. No, fuck that.
I forget where the origin of the problem is. Just blame everybody else. It's a bit like saying, you know, oh, it's the music people listen to that's causing a change.
Right.
No, hold on. People are responsible for what they do. That's how that works. We are all individually responsible. One other very interesting side effect of this that I have noticed is I've noticed it in other places too with different things. I've been around a hot minute. That unfortunately people can then become very vicious. And one of the people that is adjacent to Brittany's channel, who has addiction issues themselves, suddenly sees themselves as better than every other type of addict, which is very interesting considering we have seen their addiction spill out onto YouTube repeatedly. But then they demean, demoralize, and try to destroy other addicts, other people in recovery, other people who have changed their lives simply because they don't like their opinion.
Mm.
And I find that so disgusting that other people can yet again sit and ignore that because they don't like these other people too.
Right. Well, let's talk about the whole, addict shaming, addict shaming. Did I not hear Craig about a week ago say that we all have needles hanging out our arms and none of us have custody of our kids?
Right.
As he's sitting there with her, trying to wake her up by clapping. The woman who literally doesn't have custody of 3? Are you kidding? Really?
Apparently
Okay.
she didn't know Christmas was coming either. It was a surprise.
Ain't that a shocker? Every fucking year. You know, it was pointed out to me. Rainbow Baby, who used to support Brittany, pointed out that she claimed the one year that she didn't have any money for Christmas, but then recently came out and admitted that she bought the child like one of those little motorcycle things that they never ride. Isn't that amazing how somebody can go from not having any money to suddenly these kids, by Brittany and Craig's own mouth, each have their own iPhones, they have their own PlayStations, their own Switches, their own TVs, their own outdoor dirt bikes, and blah, blah, blah. Wow, your kids sure have a lot of luxurious things for somebody who claims they can't even pay the fucking internet bill.
And again, whenever you compare it most recently to Cam and Dali, one of the unfortunate things is that the same thing happened with them too. People who could see that they were in some level of early addiction or distress, or, you know, and they were doing the same thing. Everything else was the problem. You know, life wasn't going right. They were behind in bills, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The amount of money that was given to them by kind-hearted folks who genuinely wanted to help, because people will do whatever they can. Most people are kind. We may not like them, but they do want to help. And they were handing over thousands. And that's part of the issue too. And we are watching the same thing. They are not struggling. Craig is living very well. Brittany
tells
has told
everybody.
us he's told us multiple times what he's eating and doing well. They're not having to budget.
They don't even have fucking bills.
Right?
I mean, what?
You can now afford to feed the wildlife. Whereas there are people in this community and people directly in her community who can't afford their own medication, their own groceries, people who are being evicted from their homes, and they're still handing over the tiny amount of money that they don't even truthfully have to her. That pisses me off.
Not only that, but when it comes to Christmas, right? She openly said, my kids don't want toys, so I'm not doing a wish list because they want electronics, so send me money. But yet you just sat there, you and your drunken boyfriend just sat there and told us how your kids don't even touch the electronics that they have. So much so that Craig said, well, you should probably sell them. But now the internet should buy them more electronics to collect us to make up for your lack of fucking parenting and involvement in your children. Really? Those kids should be getting family board game nights. They should be getting arts and crafts. They should be getting Lego sets. They should be doing action figures and learning to play with their imagination. But instead, they're being babysat by electronics shoved in front of them. And oh, I'll buy you some Roblox if you don't bother me for the next 3 hours while I'm nodding the fuck out in front of my computer. That's what's happening there. So go ahead and buy these kids some more electronics. But what they really need, what they really fucking need, is a little one-on-one time for mommy and daddy in a sober mind state. Okay?
That's right.
A little trip to the beach, a little trip to the park, a little walk around the block. Maybe they're not out there riding those ATVs because you're not out there doing it with them.
Yep. Every child needs encouragement. And if you're not there to encourage them, then what do you expect?
Right. It's the God's honest truth. But go ahead and add to the electronic collection that they never touch, admittedly, by Britney. Do it. It's just insane to me. And if you can't afford the electronics, the kids would know that. But they know that mommy and daddy are going to get them the electronics because you got them every one before that, even though claiming you couldn't.
And as
Tell
well
the
as
internet how broke you are, but yet they get a $1,500 computer for their birthday. Why do people believe this shit? Why do they believe it, we?
That's well, I again, I think they do. They get sucked into this whole image of a battle, and somehow they're defending some poor wee innocent person who just wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for other people, or and they don't see it till it's too late. They just
She said
don't.
the other day, she made herself the martyr. She's done this several times now. Y'all, if I log off, they're just going to do it to somebody else. Do people forget Britney's origins? Her origins was making a channel where she survived another YouTuber. Do you know what Britney did for the years of 2022 and 2023 going into 2024? Granny. Every day, every night, sun up to sundown, there was a stream live about me, and there was Britney in it. So much so that she was showing up late because she was busy on panel talking shit about me. Britney has always had a target out here. And now that she's finally the target, she wants to make herself a martyr for it. The fuck out of here. She wasn't even doxxed until she signed herself into litigation. Fuck off with this perpetual victimhood bullshit.
Yep, she literally has the audacity, and I say that so deliberately, to get up there and say, why should I be the one who has to be quiet? Brittany, you have tried to use the legal system. People be quiet. You cannot control yourself in even the smallest way. That is plain for everyone to see, even the people that support you.
Yep. That's why she has to constantly assure them, y'all, we'll get back to true crime. Y'all, we're going to start doing true crime. Yep.
Well, here's another sad drawback that, again, I have to say this very carefully. Seth Rogers obviously has some form of relationship, professional relationship, we'll put it that way, with Britney. And Britney has promised that man multiple times to either call and never has, or and he has stated that himself. That's not me deciding that Britney didn't those screenshots. And recently then she has said that she was going to do an update on Sebastian, obviously, and that has been postponed. Today she was going to do it, come hell or high water. So
that was Wednesday. That would have been yesterday. Yep.
Well, literally the past 3 days she's been doing it. Oh, well, we'll do it tomorrow. I'm going, and then so today should be hell and high water day. So I hope that her chat keep her to that promise, that if she does not hold to her word and do as she promised that man, to hell with everybody else. To hell with literally everyone else. What about Sebastian?
She said to hell with Sebastian when she used his name to put me in a fucking lawsuit.
That's
she always put her personal drama above that child. And we even played a clip where Britney and her panel guests acknowledged that these lawsuits are going to take awareness away from Sebastian, and a month later the bitch fucking signed one. She knew what she was doing. It meant more to her to try to get her lick up against me when I wasn't even going at her at the fucking time that she did this than it did to keep the awareness of that missing child that she made all that profit off of for all those fucking months. Until this very moment, she is still dramas above that missing child. Sorry you thought she felt otherwise, Seth.
Yep. It's actually no matter what your personal opinions are about anything else, that is so desperately sad. It's why she's trying so hard to poke at extra people right now, and where it's so transparent that it's pathetic.
You know what? Let's bring up where Craig said, we don't need anything from any of you on the internet. We got plenty of family that will help us. Why the fuck does she need the internet to send her money for Christmas gifts?
Right? You would
I thought
think
you got plenty of family.
after the past 3 years of needing assistance, you would think she would have realised by now, oh, maybe this year I should put some money away. Maybe Craig doesn't need gifts every month. Maybe Craig doesn't need new clothes every month. I should be putting money aside for my children. That's what everybody else does.
Well, she saved all that money not having to pay for attorneys. Like, why can't she use that? Yeah, I mean, it's a repeated pattern of these two gluttonous pigs getting on the screen and telling you all how rich he is, how much money he has, and then she's up there pretending to be the struggling mother. But your man got money. Why isn't he buying this shit? Why isn't he out there working? And then you have these people, admittedly in the chat, say to her, "Well, I can't help this week because I had X amount of bills, or I'm struggling myself, but I'll try to help next week." And you take that from them, knowing damn well that your kids already got all the latest electronics sitting there collecting dust. Fucking wrap up the toys you bought them over the summer that they don't fucking touch. Wrap up those
Right.
electronics, put a fucking bow on it, and call it a goddamn Christmas.
Literally sit and have a conversation with your preteens, or and literally have a conversation. They see a lot. They see a lot that's happening in that home. They can absolutely take a conversation about Christmas gifts. That's nothing in comparison to the shit they're seeing on a daily basis.
Well, you know what dawned on me the other day? So when Brittany said that the one didn't even speak until the 3rd grade, that I want to riddle you this. How do I have clips of 2021 of him in the background screaming bloody murder? Both of them, if they never even spoke until the 3rd grade. You sound stupid, Brittany. You sound stupid. Right, 3 freezers worth of food. They got their Best Buy credit card. Use that to get fucking Christmas.
Daily takeaway food or fast food, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, all of the things. But yeah,
Yep.
please, everybody else, they just send me the money. They want electronics. I'm not going to do a Amazon wish list. Send me electronics. Send me money. Fuck off. Right, haven't you all heard of credit? Oh, I can't. Oh. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up, girl. Nelly is biting at me. I missed lunchtime.
Well, before you go, I want to say I'm very proud of you. And I know that a lot of people are in the same boat, and a few of your panelists had said it too, that this conversation is very difficult to have for most people, but especially with the position that you have, all of the things you have experienced, really.
Yeah.
That it's a very hard thing to do. And it's one of the most admirable qualities that you do have, that you see it and you know it has to be. You know you're going to get pushback and you do it. And I'm proud as heck of you. I'm proud as heck of you for staying in recovery. I'm proud of you for following things through. I'm proud of you for standing by your children and being the mother that they deserve. I'm proud of you for all of those things. So fuck everybody else.
Wow, thank you, Wade. That means a lot, seriously. That's my biggest thing is like I understand Brittany comes on every night and makes herself a victim and falls asleep, lies about it, nods out, lies about it, has the kid waking her up, lies about it, all of that. But there are some of us that don't struggle on the screen. There are some of us that actually take recovery and our sobriety or clean time serious. There are some of us that take our mental health serious. I could come on the internet when I'm in those depressive states and cry to you all and blame Brittany for it. And I'd absolutely be justified in blaming her because it is her. She is the only reason I'm in this predicament I'm in. Just because I decide to log off and take care of my mental health, or I decide to, recognize that I'm not in a good place to go live that day and spend it off, all due to Brittany, doesn't mean that I'm not suffering either. And at the end of the day, Brittany is responsible for every phone call that comes to that house. Only she is making all of that happen. I guarantee if you switch roles and you put me on a camera nodding out and my child desperately trying to wake me up, every motherfucker out there that justifies it would be up there on their screens pointing it out. That is the difference here. I'm tired of people being gaslit that Brittany is a victim and we're so wrong for our concerns. No, you are very valid in your concerns, and fuck anybody that doesn't want to believe it. I don't care. You don't have to be gaslit out of your reality to coddle hers. It's just a fact.
That's right. And as a bonus extra for, as Jess has said 1,000 times today, this isn't to shame anybody who's struggling with addiction. This is more of a recognizable moment that you don't need to live like that. You deserve better in your life, no matter who you are. Your family members, your children, your loved ones, they all deserve a better version of you, and you can do it. There is help out there. So for people who are struggling, especially in the run up to the holidays, it's a difficult period for a whole lot of people. And help is there. It is never too late to reach out and ask for a hand up where you need support. Never too late. Do it today if you need to, because there are people there, people who have walked that path, who are ready to be able to assist you. It can be done. It absolutely can be done.
Yeah.
And it could be the best phone call you have ever made. So don't be scared by what you see elsewhere. Take the opportunity and do it, because you deserve much more.
And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for those around you. They certainly
That's
deserve
right.
much more.
That's right. I would rather be going to visit somebody in a rehab center than visiting a grave. And unfortunately, like a lot of people, I have way too many to visit. So please,
Absolutely.
please do it. But thank you very much, Jess, for having the conversation and having us up. We appreciate you. We love
I
you.
appreciate you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I appreciate all of you tuning in today. Again, I know it's not going to be a popular topic or a popular take on things, but it's a realistic one. And I choose to live in reality. Matter of fact, that's part of my recovery is to see things for what they are, accept them for what they are, and accept people for who they are. And I'm accepting right here today my reality, and I won't be gaslit out of it to fucking coddle hers. Period. End of. The only person that can stop the wellness checks, stop the CPS calls, stop the, lying about swatting is the person that decides to go live in that condition. And any of you that want to keep justifying, excusing, or platforming that type of behavior and normalizing it, shame on you. Because as you saw today, there are hundreds of us in the chat that have experienced it for ourselves. And we are telling you, this ends nowhere good. And when it does, eventually, hopefully, it does it. But if and when it does reach that place where it is no longer a false call, where it is no longer, easily covered up by gaslighting everybody that the snoring wasn't snoring. When you are smack dab with the reality because something woke you up that you had to face it, don't you dare be care then. Shame on all of you. Lisa, thank you so much. And I think other people should pay for Christmas facts, especially when they have a man right there that brags how rich he is. But go ahead, send your hard-earned money. If you haven't, will you please consider hitting the thumbs up? I appreciate you all joining me for today. A nod is a nod, and it is right there before your eyes. You do not deserve. I shall see you all around. Bye.